shout out loud to will that be helps if I actually have the right title in place. Poop. Place to shout it at. No, not chess.com. That will be very confusing. Hey, everyone who watches me play chess, watch me play this other game. Now, some of you might play.
Oh, yeah.
Think of the Star Trek Adventures as the chess of role-playing games. It's not even close to the truth.
I don't think it is. I think it's very much not that.
Yeah, no. Oh god, what would be the chess of board games? Or chess of TTRPGs? I don't know. It'd be a hard
Chess of
thing
board
to
games is
describe.
chess.
Yeah, no, I realized what I said after I said it.
And to make sure I can see the lovely chat. Tell me how I'm doing the rules wrong. Or say how
It would
awesome
have
I
to
am.
be GURPS. It's highly archaic, and you need a lifetime of esoteric study to be great at it, or you're just like born to understand it.
And there are exactly 6 grandmasters who know the rules completely, all of whom hate each other and won't talk to each other.
I assume half of them are former Soviets.
Late.
No.
Yet the really good players come out of India.
That I'm sure that tracks.
The pro GURPS League of India going like, hey, how'd you know about us? I didn't know about you, but apparently I do now.
I mean,
There was
Caught
someone
in the
trying
dark
to
in
talk me into
Atlantis?
playing GURPS, and I'm like, no.
that's the thing, right? Is that like 1 out of every 7 people is Chinese, or 1 out of every 7 people is Indian, roughly. There are so many people in those countries, over 1 billion each, that like if you say blank is popular there, you're probably right.
Yeah. And on the back
No.
of that lesson in demographics, hello everyone, I'm AD Springer, also known as Corbinian. This is the Electric Metropolis video game tour, and we're playing another episode of Star Trek Adventures, Halanak Station. And this is our 2nd episode of the new season. Basically a part 2. Hopefully, we won't have a quote-unquote crash. No, it actually did crash last time, but it shouldn't crash this time. If it does, I will cry. Off stream, because it will have crashed. But I look to the Admiral to present the log, please.
Admiral Station Operations Log. Stardate 60694.2. It's been a period of intense activity aboard Halanak Station as my Admiralty Advisory Councils continue to make progress on multiple fronts. I've issued standing directives aimed at strengthening the Halanak Agreement's ties within the free information sphere and reducing the FIS's reliance on inheritor technology, a task that I anticipate shall prove both challenging and ultimately essential. The current mission directives are clear: secure suppliers and expert shipwrights for the NX starship construction, establish robust security measures for the project, and investigate the extent of inheritor technology's influence on FIS worlds and species. Merchant Kusya has set forth from Halanak Station aboard his personal craft, the SS Gilded Star, with a goal to seek out private citizens and freelancer spacers who may show interest in contributing to the NX construction project. Prime Minister Kovic's enhanced security measures around the shipyard have proven effective so far, resulting in the apprehension of individuals suspected of espionage. Commander Carpenter has taken charge of recruitment efforts for Starfleet transfers, ensuring that only the most qualified and reliable personnel are selected for the NX construction program. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Venn has begun a comprehensive study of the Aquarius facility, which should hopefully shed light on its influence over the planet Upantar and its inhabitants. End log.
We rejoin where we last left off. This is a 2-threat game because you're out of the planning stages and into the implementation stages, as it were. We literally do pick up where we left off. which was the last action that happened. Riam and Tharlek have been speaking to Captain Wright, vetting one of the a certain Vulcan in her charge. I believe what was going on.
Yep. And I believe I was planning to make contact with the doctor who is under some suspicion.
Yes, I believe the thing we did when we last left off is you were going to reach out to the superior officers of Lieutenant Jaya Patel because we thought she might be
Yeah.
a valuable recruit, but also she has 1,000 red flags.
Yeah, like I was going to reach out to Patel's commanding officer or other relevant individuals and see what I could determine there. And then.
Oh, I
Carpenter
believe you
was
did
going
try to reach out to Starfleet Medical
did.
on Earth, and they shut you down because they were under investigation.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that happened after we'd crashed. Cool. If I've done both of those things, then I think it was Carpenter reaching out to the other candidates, like
That'll happen after Ryloth, because Carpenter's move essentially was the gathering of all the names.
Yeah.
So we sorry.
Then yeah, I think I'm good.
Centurion Ryloth.
Okay, and now Kovic's gone, so...
As he's now going through the process of the FAS legal system of processing all these people charged with espionage, so...
Yeah.
It's kind of tied
Damn.
up.
Funny I wasn't one of them. No, but I'm now no longer being accused of or suspected of dealing with a problem, as much as I've liked to. And Kovic still needs help in that regard. So, any information that might have been gathered, collected, etc. during the investigation, I don't know if this state did anything with the, hey, the people that probably did it are in this planet system we control. But any of that I'd like to gather, coalesce it, file it, get it put over to Kovic's office.
Give for me a reason command roll, because you have to convince the various people who outrank you that this is information that should be filtered through you. Reputation's high, so it's not a good reason for them to be out right now, so the difficulty shouldn't be too high, but it's Romulans, so difficulty 3. And it wouldn't be reason, I'm full of crap, it'd be presence command.
It changes nothing, the scores are the same. I am equally as reasonable as I am present.
That sounds concerning.
Hey! Star Navy protocols. For going through the proper change loops and etc. None of them things will give you I want to do this, so we'll give you 3.
3 threat to me. On the nose so far.
Yep. It's where it needs to be.
Yeah. One moment. This is you double checking on the world that's in Romulan space.
In part, I expect that's probably where information came from, if anything. But it's mostly any information that the state may or may not have in regards to this particular guy disappearing.
Oh, in general, it's
Yeah.
um.
Because there's some reason they said I didn't do it for sure, other than the fact I didn't do it.
Well, basically, they overlooked your files that were in your fleet liaison office. They looked over all your personal data pads and such, and your scanning device, just in case you hid stuff in there, and just reviewed what did you do, where did you do it, did you talk to anyone you knew back in the Empire, that sort of thing. So you're shown as doing moves, but they know that you weren't moving against him. Like you were, but in a very diplomatic way. You were in his face, but not trying to kill him or anything. You were just making sure he knew you existed. So the prevailing theory that they don't know if the Tal Shiar targeted their own, but they're not convinced it was the Tal Shiar in particular, because they would trust a Romulan problem to Romulans. They generally wouldn't let a high value target be handled by outsiders. They'd rather have someone they had direct control of. The Consortium of Tay is the main suspect as to who grabbed them, but they realize there must be a mastermind who's funding the Consortium. The Consortium has no particular reason to grab somebody. That said, someone in the Romulan Empire had to greenlight it. Otherwise, the Consortium of Tay would never dare go after someone that important in the Empire, because they would know they'd be invoking the if it was a state diplomat, then there's a bunch of problems. But this person's known as an Imperial, and it's pretty much an open secret. The Imperial faction is the Tal Shiar faction, so any spacer worth 2 brain cells would be able to go, if I grab this spy, I get the super spy agency after me. So someone had to be okay with this. Someone had to back this. And the problem the state has right now is they're not sure who it is. Like, they can't confer. Like, normally they just confer with their Tal Shiar liaisons, but they don't have that because of the Civil War. It is also possible, I will say, that maybe someone in the state greenlit it other than you, and is trying to grab a spy without grabbing a spy directly. But again, they may not be Tal Shiar, but your fellow Romulans, again, something that important, you trust the Romulans, not to outsiders. So it's a lot of questions, a lot of unsurers, but they know you personally don't have enough pull to have done this in the way it was done. Like, if you were going to grab him, you would have grabbed him on the station, or made him disappear on Upantar, or put him away in your shuttle or something. You wouldn't have hired a very expensive mercenary company to grab him from deep space, especially within warping distance of a Starfleet vessel with Klingon ships prowling around at Cloak. Like, that is not a easy, that would not be a cheap operation to pull off.
Not at all. No, but that's interesting to still provide to Kovic, which will happen when he's here next week, I imagine.
Do you have any follow-up questions you wish to get with Threat?
No.
I just saw something in our Discord that made me chuckle. Someone's stealing identities.
Who would do such a thing?
Only a dastardly villain. So A day will go by, and we look over not in Upantar, but to Teitara. As the starship Gilded Star begins to approach the Teitara system. I don't know where you want to drop out of warp. I have you on the outside on approach. Shields down, I would presume.
Yes. This is a merchant ship. It's not supposed to have anything but basic shields and maybe some asteroid lasers or something.
Phasers are okay, because they help... phaser banks, anyway. They're good for destroying, well, asteroids or mining, things like that. Not
Yes,
great
and
for
that's why that is the only thing the ship is equipped with.
I was just going to say the iterative word in that sentence was, "This is a ship that shouldn't have anything more than."
And it
Yep.
And thankfully, the Defiant doesn't have the same reputation in the Shackleton as it does back in the Alpha Quadrant.
Yeah, this is just one of those old warships that Starfleet didn't need anymore. Starfleet wouldn't have accidentally let anything dangerous get into anyone's hands.
Unpictured here, there are some ships floating around, but they're not interacting with you, so I didn't mark them. So there's a few small craft dealing with this D-class, some small craft dealing with this gas giant, and a picket defense fleet kind of... Actually, more around here near the Kingdom of Heaven station and Teitara. And a minor space station of sorts, but it's nothing in comparison to Halanak station, so it's barely worth mentioning.
Then I will have Yagan bring us out at the edge of the system, and I will have him send the appropriate automated pleasantries requesting docking.
Are you requesting docking with station or landing on planet?
Where is he being held?
You don't know that information yet. You know he's being held by the in theory, but you're not sure precisely where.
Okay, we'll just go to the station.
Give me Presence Command, difficulty 1. Assisted by your ship's communications command. Or Con, if that's better, because it's spacer talk, so.
Focus in space station operations.
Yep. Because you know what to ask for, or what they care about.
Does the Gilded Stars crew support eat into the crew support we have available for the whole game, or just...
Crew support's tied to ship, station, and admiral. So
Okay.
you use whatever crew support. If you have someone on Gilded Star, it eats its crew support.
Okay, then does someone want to grab Yakan to give an assist here so we can get some momentum? I'll give a threat.
Sure, I can do it. Let me pull up the ship.
Yeah,
Con
so the three people on the bridge are a Gorn, a Jim'Hadar without the Ketracel, and an old Allen unit.
Wow.
Where is in
It's under Gilded Star.
Here it
Yeah, it's
is. All right. Wait. Who's the last guy? Is that Alan Tudyk? Or not Alan Tudyk?
It's not on Tudyk.
What's the other guy? Alan, not. Oh my god.
The other guy, as in if Alan Tudyk and Alan Turing had anything in common.
Hey, they do.
LNT.
They have
I'm
initials.
trying to think of.
Yeah,
I know who Alan
Turing.
Turing is. Okay.
I had a character a long time ago is an android that's called Alan that was made to look like Alan Turing, and at the end of the game, there ended up being like several thousand or tens of thousands of them working for the evil guys.
Okay, and this is
So-
one of them. Okay.
Yeah, we set them all free, gave them new identities, and put them on Earth. So there've just been a couple thousand some types walking around on Earth trying to blend in for a long time.
They're originally Section 31 assassin androids until the Victoria stopped them.
All right. What am I rolling to help here? Presence, con.
Con or command.
Okay.
Yikin's not much of a talker.
Yeah.
Based on his
I don't think
presence
a books in first aid,
command
action
point.
navigation, or starship piloting will help here. Okay.
I mean, there might be an argument for either astronavigation or starship piloting because this is to get docking clearance.
Yeah.
Not that it would have mattered.
Oh, you have your ship as well. So far, 3 are being generated. Whoopsie. Oh no. Oh no. Broke everything. Not all players, just me. Here. And one more. 2 complications. No.
No.
After a bit of back and forth, you are able to get docking clearance at Tatara Station. And your ship's small enough that it can dock, as opposed to having to sit. Like, anything bigger than you actually have to send, like, small craft over, because the station is very, very small.
Mm-hmm.
It's a trade post, and it's the locals' space station, so...
Oh, the space station is not the Kingdom of Heaven?
No, Kingdom of Heaven is is where the Harbingers are.
Oh, okay.
So there are 2 space stations.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Kingdom of Heaven has its own dedicated fleet, flotilla, if you will, kind of hovering around it, given the current legal debate going on.
So is it not a space station, but merely a floating collage of just like a ship or like a fleet that just sits there? Okay.
No, Kingdom of Heaven is an actual, like, massive space station that that the Harbingers were hiding on until... But they could cloak again, but they've chosen to stay uncloaked while legal stuff's happening. There are local, in theory, ships kind of hovering around it. The station you're at is like just a tiny, like, trade outpost that's used for, well, trading with Tatara and stuff like that. Because if you're a scale 3 ship or bigger, it's not all ships are designed to land on the planet. So it's nice to have a go-between.
Then me and the boys are headed to the local watering hole where they do things like give information over drinks.
Keep hitting shift and clicking because that's what it used to be. And then I draw this instead of the nice rectangles I'm used to. Square. These things. Oh, I grabbed Alan out of instinct.
Some pretty old instincts.
All instincts are old. What are you talking about?
You can go to the bar. It's just a bar that doesn't serve that kind.
Oh no, they'll serve whoever because this is the FIS,
Okay.
so they're
Okay,
xenophilic.
okay.
If anything, like ooh, we'll give you a discount if you're a new alien.
Also, it can't really be an in theory bar because that's not an in theory thing, right? This is probably some like other species, some adventurous bar owner has set up.
Yeah, because there are most in theory can just be spaceborne. So this is more for aliens to come by. Some in theory are here just out of sheer we get to look at aliens and say hi to them, and they can say hi to us because they can't survive the vacuum of space much. So, yeah, no, you see there's a few traders here or there. There's a few spacers. Very much an alien spacer bar. There are some in theory, some Sapphic Cast, some Upentari, but the vast majority are alien.
Then Kusia will have a drink and schmooze around the bar for a while before trying to find and talk to someone who might know a thing or two about local harmonizers.
Do you want Yakugan to be your Chewbacca, like, silent wingman, or do you want him to go off and do his own thing?
No, he would be the worst option for that. Actually, no, silent is the best he could do. I think Gartoon has a little bit of command. But yeah, I don't. Yakugan has strengths. None of them are talking. In fact, I don't know that there is a Jem'Hadar who's good at doing that without insulting people.
That's a Vortar for.
Yeah, and I'm not letting one of those slimy little guys on my show.
Present security difficulty 2, by the way, to schmooze around.
I'll spend the momentum.
Yakugan will assist, and I'm going to assume this assist is you looking cooler by having Jem'Hadar with you rather than him actually talking. He's just kind of silently, like, standing in your orbit.
Scaring away people who might try to think they can weasel the human out of money. Like, no, that's a mistake. Like, oh, nope.
So, does this guy have a supply of Ketracel with him, or has he been rendered? Did you say he got rendered immune to Ketracel?
Yeah, I mean, any. I just assume by virtue of him being here that he has. There was that. They did something in DS9 to free one of, or some of the Jem'Hadar of the Ketracel. I assume that's what's happened to him because, yeah, running around with I don't think Ketracel Light is easy to come by in the shackles.
No.
I don't even think it's easy to come by in the Alpha Quadrant.
Mm-hmm.
He might just be one of those occasional Jem'Hadar who isn't who doesn't have the chemical dependency. Because we encountered one of those in DS9.
Well, regardless, he is of no help. No, he's currently engaging in attempting to differentiate between different types of alien drink and is too distracted to be any assistance.
As you ask about, you do find yourself in the company of a rather pleasant Sicarian. I'm clicking every window but the one I want. There we go.
Who are Sicarians again?
So they look humanoid, tend to have very very slick back, very short hair, and they have various rings that are arrayed about their head as their headdress and hat of sorts. They're actually from the Delta Quadrant. This person's very far away from home. This person's rather far away from home.
Was this a species in Voyager?
Mm-hmm. It was.
Which episode is it? I mean, because I might, if I remember the episode, it might bring him to mind.
Prime Factors. They were looking for a trajector matrix, and they were like, they're a pleasure-based species.
Oh yeah, I know that episode. Yeah, where where they keep asking, and the dude's like, "No, not yet. You can't have it." And then they steal it in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This person is a Sicari that is very far from home. But they seem to be rather... When you ask around and you get the feel that person over there seems to be the most knowledgeable. Or at least the person everyone keeps looking to, or is the one that is the name that gets brought up the most when it comes to knowing things around here.
All right. Then I want to talk almost in a double speak, kind of asking him questions about the harmonizers in a way that's, if you're just reading back the audio recording, there's chance to deny, but to someone who's, sitting there able to watch facial expressions and stuff, it's pretty obvious I'm asking which harmonizers can be influenced and bought and dealt with in a gray way.
I'll call that a present security difficulty 5. Part of it is you're trying to say the doublespeak in a way that they understand, and you unlikely run into Sicarians much. The other half of it is that, although not very advanced, there would likely be a harmonizer on station and their deputies, so you're probably trying not to attract their attention. So it's a lot of being careful of who's overhearing what, while still talking with an alien you're very unfamiliar with.
I'm not great at security, but I'll give it my shot. Can I look while you're talking, just kind of circle around you to see? Okay, sure, I will attempt this, but I'm not succeeding. Presence security. Okay.
You could
Well,
argue.
you're only the assist. There's not a separate present security diff 5 for you.
You could
Okay,
argue.
you want to roll this? Okay, sorry.
I was gonna say, dude, you could do fitness security by the sound of what you're doing.
Okay, because I just want to look around and circle the place and make sure. Sure. All right.
Or insight, actually, because you're looking around.
Determination on always expect the unexpected.
Yeah.
Yeah. These days, you actually have to check if your cup is not a harmonizer.
You're not wrong.
Happened to a guy I knew, boss. Didn't end well for him.
Kakagonis. he spent a couple of years working with the Iosians. You gotta ignore him.
Well, it's how the humans talk.
Yeah, it's difficult to get him out of the ship without the suit and the hat with the razor blade and his antique revolver. Trait of former Starfleet intelligence. You have to have a lot
that
of
explains a
conversations
lot.
in bars with people who can't tell you what they're supposed to tell you.
I'll let you knock that down, yeah.
Oh, sorry, and I owe you 2 momentum.
I'll take it as 20 threat instead.
Well, hey, you can get a 1 and a 20 on the same roll. Look at that.
So 3, 4, 5. You just hit it, but you have a comp on the board.
Well, with the trait, that's 1 over.
Oh, you're 1 over. That's right. You can buy
And
that
then
off.
I'll use
You
the
want
2 on the table to flush.
Realize you might not see their name at the moment. You can. Valeko kind of talks back. Eventually catches on to what you're saying, and at first they give you back some doublespeak that is lost on you. It's it must be some sort of like Delta Quadrant doublespeak that doesn't. The translator can't make that jump for you. There's too much you don't know. But then once she realizes that it's okay, comes around and starts going. It informs you in very obtuse way that the harmonizer for Tatara and the harmonizer of the gas giant are both amenable to personal enrichment, is the way she puts it.
All right. I'll give her a small consideration for being helpful.
I would actually treat that as paying like an opportunity cost. So you can determine how much. I would let you use momentum here, but one threat or one opportunity would be a small amount of money, two would be a significant amount of money, and three or more is a lot of money being moved. So it depends how much of consideration you want to give this person. I'll also note this will set a certain difficulty based on how much money they were given to not repeat what they were told. If questionable, like they're not going to run to the nearest harmonizer just to out you, because that puts them in trouble too. But
I'll just use the merchant ability to give one.
Okay.
Because I need it. I need the rest to actually deal with the harmonizers. Also, it's not like she didn't. She helped. She didn't like help massively.
Mm-hmm. She'll take your monies and retain herself with other people in the room. They're wild spacer stories of far-off stars no one here has seen.
So the one on Tatara and the one on the gas giant. There's a lot less people looking around a gas giant, I would think. So I'll find Yakugan and say, we gotta go meet a friend at the gas giant. Where it is he knows how to appreciate gifts.
What does that mean, boss?
Kusha doesn't bother and just waves him away.
Should I stop by the florists? They've got a 2-for-1 deal on roses, like those kinds of gifts.
Oh my god.
You absolutely should now.
Kusha will say, no, I hear he likes chocolates, and then give a like push to Yakugan to, as a sign to think for a second.
Chocolates.
So, how you plan on getting there?
On the Gilded Star.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're gonna fly there.
And we'll end the scene there as you begin undocking from Tatara Station to head over to the gas giant. I'll actually just move. No challenge.
Now I gotta come up with one of Yakuganas from Queens.
Look, it was a cross-cultural exchange program thing, and Queens was the only one with an opening. He was very excited.
To be fair, he got there. It was only like a 10-month exchange program. He only got there when he was like 2 years old. He was like 30 when he left.
The whole "I'm walking here" becomes a lot scarier when it comes from a Jem'Hadar.
He's the
He's
pilot.
gonna do that thing that
So He's the pilot too, which means he can cut people off in space traffic. I'm flying here.
I'm pretty sure I'm walking here is much more Manhattan than Queen.
Oh my god, they're the same place.
So
They are not.
Yeah. So
As
I
someone who's
have
from New
never.
York, they're not.
New York is
I
New
take it back.
York. All of
I've
New York
only
City is the same.
intentionally been
Okay.
above the Mason-Dixon line once. So my entire understanding of New York comes from like Friends and Seinfeld. And,
That's basically all of New York.
And Scorsese movies.
Yeah.
I honestly, that might be Yakugan's understanding of New York too.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
I do now see him doing the whole, like, if we ever get into a gunfight, doing the whole like Law and Order detective thing, and running around with the little 38 special and in a suit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love this crew of
Always
weirdos. They're fantastic.
Talking about, you know, what Sister Mary What did at St. I don't know, Teresa High School or whatever.
Lots of moving of boxes. But yeah, it is a new day on Halanak Station. What are you all doing?
I will stay available for now in case anybody needs me for stuff.
Yeah, sure, I'll go. Carpenter has been asked to recruit people, so first things first, the most important catch, I would like to reach out to Lieutenant Commander Narak Thalos in order to see if I can acquire him for the project.
Everywhere but where I want to go.
Remember to screen with his commanding officers first.
No. It's called poaching.
He's a lieutenant commander. But yes, I will follow proper chain of command procedure.
Yeah.
Have to go through someone else.
I mean, we think we want him, but we do want to like check in with his.
Give me a presence command difficulty of 3, assisted by station's communications command. This will encompass the bureaucracy of getting Lieutenant Commander Thalos, like talking to commanding officer, getting the right forms, and saying, "Hey, I want to offer him a job." Yada yada yada. Like there's a lot of particulars. You're checking all the boxes. It's only difficulty 3 instead of 2 because he's a lieutenant commander, so it's a little. He's busier than your average officer would be, especially at Utopia Panasia. So
you said Div 3.
3.
Control command. I'm sorry. What'd you say again?
I said control security. I'm shooting you now.
Okay. I'm sorry.
No. Presence command difficulty 3.
Presence command. Okay. We're on a 14. That's fine. A focus in bureaucracy.
Yes.
All right. I know how to work my way around Starfleet. Okay. Well, I don't have any momentum, which isn't great. But
all know who to blame.
You know,
Aren't you a human?
Threat. I am a human, but I am not burning my determination for a basic procedural task. I mean, we will be shot at before the end of this episode, I bet. And I'm not. No, I'm saving that. All right,
I can make sure
GM,
that
take
happens.
3 threat.
3 threat eye.
Oh God, you know what? Sure, I'll let the complications stand because this could be interesting.
This is where you get shot at.
Yeah. Self-fulfilling prophecy.
Station's
Get the
communications
station
command.
Good luck with that. And
Generate
Station
a
hits.
momentum. Oop. So, you get through the basic hoops of you find that even getting at the commanding officer of Utopia Planitia Fleet Yards is a pain in the neck. Because it is one of the fleet yards of all of Starfleet. It's not the only one, although it really feels like the show acts like it is. Like, no, it's just the most important. It's the big one with the whole fleet around it. So getting to him, getting to the fleet commander for that area is a pain in the neck. So it takes you a bit to get to him, and eventually it's, well, I need to talk to this person for why. I'm thinking of offering a transfer to Halanak Station, whatever for, encrypting the file. Like, there's, you spend like hours with just dealing with the person you don't want to talk to. You're just doing procedural niceties.
And I'm an adjutant. I've been an adjutant for years. I know how to run this machine, how to get what I want out of this system. But that all being said, there's only so much you can speed up this process, and I'm on almost as far as away from Utopia Planitia as you can get in Starfleet. And so I imagine there's just like a lot of like knowing that if I was there, I could have this all done in 3 minutes, but because I'm so far away, it takes 3 years. Yes, I will have Tetris pulled up on another pad, and I will wait as long as it takes to get the guy who I know will be the best guy for the job.
Okay, so you're told eventually, after that last little pleasantry of "thank you, sir," yes, that is very important, sir. Yes, I'm waiting for you to transfer me. No, it's not rushing you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank God you're off the call with him. Okay, you just have to wait a few minutes. It's gonna go from one department to another. You can finish your game. And the screen changes from the Starfleet logo to the Department of Temporal Affairs.
Oh no.
Oh, no. Fuck. And you hear her creak as she goes from leaning back in her chair to leaning all the way forward into her chair. And she goes, oh, God, what the fuck? And she, like, sits up and straightens her uniform and says, this is Commander Carpenter, Adjutant to Rear Admiral Thralic. How can I help you today?
You see a female human come into view, dressed in civilian clothes, because they are a civilian arm of the Council, rather than the Starfleet one for a variety of reasons. She seems to stare at you when you introduce yourself. Jots something down in her pad. What did you say your name was again?
Commander Ellen Carpenter. I am the adjutant to Rear Admiral Shri Thralic.
Computer, verify this is the correct person. Here, the computer verify that you are real.
I appreciate the computer verifying that I am real. If the computer told me I was fake, I would have a pretty big existential crisis.
Yeah.
GM, you're supposed to tell me when you add traits to my character. You're not supposed to just scribble them in when I'm not looking. I mean, I do that, but no one ever looks until it's too late.
Before.
She taps at her pad some more. Is this your first? Oh, I'm doing things out of order. I am investigating a temporal incident with the officer you wish to speak with, and yourself. I'm trying to make sure that everything makes the correct sort of sense. So I appreciate any and all cooperation you can provide. Hopefully, this will be a straightforward call, and I won't need to ask you to be detained.
Lamau.
My name's Carolyn Bennett, serial 226 Alpha Green.
Sure. While I talk to her, I will under the table pull up a pad and punch in that data. Can I see what I can find on her?
Reason command, difficulty 2.
Reason commands. All right, spending that 1 momentum. Focus and bureaucracy again.
Yep.
All right. There we go.
Wow,
That's
there
what I
you
like to
go.
see.
Good. Pardon me. Almost burped into everyone's ears there. So Miss Barrett here is a temporal mechanics scholar out of the Trilunar University. She was actually born on Rigel 7. Couldn't remember. I knew it was Rigel, I just didn't know which planet was the one people lived on. She's primarily concerned with the study, the biological medical studies of temporal effects on health, specifically aging, de-aging, chronoton radiation effects, that sort of thing. That's how she eventually got offered the job with temporal affairs, because she, instead of pursuing a normal medical career.
Yeah, she was the one who, when in the Next Generation they found the way for the transporter to make you young again, she was the one who came in there and said, "No fun allowed. You actually can't use the transporter to become young again."
Yeah.
No fun allowed.
And since you're an admiral's adjutant, you do have a little more access to her file than normal. It is noted that she has served with distinction as a person who has been willing to sacrifice herself to save people who are in temporal crisis. Because some people get so time screwed, essentially, or time locked, that they might phase out of existence or age until they're decrepit or go so young they turn into babies, that sort of thing. She kind of goes a bit above and beyond, so she's actually decorated a fair few times. If you didn't know any better, you would think you're looking at a Starfleet officer's record, not a civilian investigator.
Time screwed is the technical term for it.
Well, that's what it says in the personal logs. Officially, it's temporal malfeasance or some nonsense like that.
Time screwed.
Yeah, no, she has dirt on so many people by having photos of them as babies, but actually, when they became babies because of time travel mistakes, Okay, yes, okay. I will take all of this into consideration and say, okay, well, what was her last name again?
Barrett.
Okay, well, Miss Barrett, I don't believe I have time traveled in, well, ever, but especially not recently, so I don't know how much help I will be to you, but I will give you any information I can.
On what stardate did you learn of the officer you wish to speak with?
It would have been on stardate 60691. I don't remember the exact hour, but it was a few days ago.
What is the current stardate, Commander?
She glances at her clock and says 60694.2.
She taps at the display glasses, the visor around her eyes, and you can see something reading across her eyes. You can hear chirping of her glasses interfacing with the computer she's next to. Whatever it's showing her, it's not vocalizing it. All right. Is your admiral authorizing the use of a time ship? as far as you're aware.
She clears her throat and says, Admiral Thralic is not in possession of any time travel. Is not under the. Excuse me. Admiral Thralic does not have jurisdiction over any vessels capable of performing time travel, nor will she become acquire the command over any such vessels in the future. If she does have any such contrivances capable of such maneuver, I have not been made aware of them.
Jot something on her paper. And you basically get interrogated about some investigation Barrett's about. Lots of stuff like that. What time? And then every so often she'll loop back around. What's the current star date? And then when did you talk to him again? When did you talk to the admiral? What was my name? I'm sorry. What was your name again? Things like that over and over and over. Like she's constantly checking for something. Presence command difficulty 2. You're not sure what the heck she's even asking for. You just know you're part of an investigation. I will tell you for free, you are a clue in a larger puzzle that she's in the middle of. Mm-hmm. You're not a suspect.
Mm-hmm. Also, I love how you told a time cop that Thralic will not in the future be in possession of time ships. You're the only person in this conversation who doesn't actually know if that's true.
Look, what was I supposed to say to a cop? You know, if a cop says, are you currently under the possession of any illegal weapons or drugs or anything, would you say, no, but I am planning to make use of them in the near future?
To a normal cop, it wouldn't matter, but to this cop, she already knows the answer.
That's a good point. Whatever. Okay, presence command difficulty 2. I'm spending 3 momentum on this.
Really?
Yeah, but your answer should reflect your temporal understanding, not hers.
Oh, sorry. I hit yes on the focus without asking. A focus in composure.
Yeah, because she is grilling.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's perfect. That is
or generate
3 momentum back.
All right, Commander. Thank you very much for your cooperation. She taps at her pad and kind of sets it aside, whatever console she's next to.
Before you go, investigator, will I be able to acquire my officer? Like, I do not know what I did to put you on, or to put myself in your sights, but I do want, the Halanak mission, the Halanak Station fleet is currently engaged in a very important mission that Lieutenant Commander Thalas would be of amazing help to, and I would hate for any routine temporal investigations to inhibit us in that way. Will we still be able to acquire our man?
For momentum, you can get that out of her, actually.
Yeah, sure, I'll spend a momentum.
I can't go into the details of an ongoing investigation, but I think given the answers you've told me so far and what I can tell you unofficially is it is most likely he will be free to transfer into your fleet, pending the results of this investigation. But I would not wish to give you an absolute guarantee or assurance, since further evidence could be made to light by my fellow investigator.
Well, that's great to hear. You know where to find me if you need anything else from me.
I certainly do, Commander, and I'll be sure to pass along the message to Lieutenant Commander once we have this all sorted out. Or I'll not, if he's... I'm just going to leave it there. That's what I'm going to do, Commander. You have a nice day. Poof.
Yeah, when the comm clicks, you just like lets out a big exhale that removes all of the tension in her body and just like sits in the silence for quite a while to like calm herself down after, being afraid that the time cop was about to tell her that she was a temporal mistake about to be erased.
Throlic.
Wait, I'm a temporal mistake. Always have been.
Throlic, while you're at station operations, you find yourself hailed by the USS Victoria.
All right. Bring it up.
You see rear element trailblazer and at this point, a rather quaint-looking bridge because it's a bridge from before the Dominion War even started, because centaurs were being made even back then.
Yeah.
You see Trailblazer with his admiral bars on his science uniform. Admiral Throlic.
Admiral Trailblazer. Do I need to take this in private?
No, I don't think that's necessary. Unless you do.
Not to my knowledge. Go ahead.
Okay. I was actually looking to speak with your Lieutenant Ven, if he's not on assignment. I've been made aware that he has access to new information that I believe he needs help with. So I figured I should come by and lend assistance to a fellow scientist. Besides, I'm partially why he's in this mess in the first place, so.
Does that mean the Victoria's inbound?
Yeah, we came out of, we time jumped just at your outer edge there. We should be on your screen.
Yep, we're reading you now. We'll have docking berth available for you, and I'll make sure Lieutenant Ven is available to meet with you, Admiral.
Very good, thank you very much, and congratulations on the promotion.
Thank you.
Look forward to you getting a second pip in the bar. He smirks. Well, he doesn't smirk, his eyes twinkle, because they don't smile.
Yeah, well, maybe that'll happen. I'll see you when you come aboard, Admiral.
Victoria out. Victoria, the dock with Halanak Station.
Alright, and I will figure out where exactly Ven is. It would be really convenient if he was in the room.
Where is Ven, by the way? Last we saw him, he had this is the next day, by the way, Ven. Since you reported to Throlic.
Oh, about the stuff that I did last week?
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right.
So the question is, are you still on station, or are you down on the planet again?
I would say probably still on station, because I think right now, Ven's research currently is gathering Federation information based on similar research being done within the Federation, namely, as mentioned before, the whole they're not called the preservers, the precursors, the
Inheritors?
no,
Oh, those ones.
the ones that are like the
preservers?
The ones that were in that one episode of TNG, and we found out that all the humanoid life in the galaxy was seeded by them.
I believe that's they were called the precursors or preservers. It's one of those.
Something like that. Point is, people have been researching that stuff for probably the better part of a decade now.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And I'm just curious about what their research has, because that might give me at least something of a foundation to work from.
To that end, Throlic, you would know where Ven is just by asking the computer where he is.
Yeah.
Do you communicate him with, or do you just walk into wherever he is?
I think I just walk into wherever he is, honestly.
And he's just sort of sitting in front of a computer terminal, chin on his hand, just reading just a wall of text.
The occasional picture.
Lieutenant. Lieutenant Van.
Rear Admiral. Yes, sorry. Ongoing research.
Yes, that's why I'm here.
Oh?
The USS Victoria has just docked with Halanak Station. Its commanding officer, in the form of Admiral Trailblazer, has suggested he has relevant information for your investigation and wishes to meet with you about it.
Wait, Huh. Like, you see he's thinking something over in his head. Huh. And his brow sort of furrows a little bit. As he seems to be, like, thinking something over. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, is there somewhere he wants to meet me, or...
Well, knowing the Admiral, he'll probably want to get straight to work. So I'll be having someone meet him at the dock and bring him here.
Okay. I'll wrap up this research. This was a tertiary line of inquiry anyway.
All right. And Thralic will, tap the combat badge and order some, probably lieutenant commander or lieutenant to escort the admiral to whatever science lab this is.
Easily done, as Trailblazer eventually walks in, escorted by a junior red shirt. A junior command track rather than junior contract.
That'll be all, Lieutenant.
And that person nods and heads off.
Admiral, welcome aboard.
It's been a while since... Well, the last time I was here was when Pend was got his square.
Yeah.
Didn't think you'd be seeing it so fast, but...
Trust me, neither did I.
I
don't know what they were thinking back at Command. Gosh.
Ben just tugs at his collar. He feels like this is a conversation he should not be hearing.
Oh, don't worry about it, Ven. Get into one time crisis or some such, and you'll be fast-tracked to captain before you know it. His eyes cloud over for a second, and eventually clear.
Oh God!
Oh,
is that the closest thing that his species gets to PTSD flashbacks?
Whatever it was, he seems to he daydreamed, was lost in a thought of some kind. So you might think of that, yeah.
Granted.
A parallel world where Fen was currently a captain. One of those things. All right. Well, I believe the two of you have a number of things to go over. If you need me for anything, I'll be back up in CNC.
Thank you very much, Thralic.
I'll nod and head out.
Trailblazer taps at something on his at his hip, and you hear a faint beeping noise, and in your mind you think the beep. It's almost like it's clouding one's ability to hear in here on a sonic level as well.
Huh.
So, young on this Ven, I believe you've just learned you're an inheritor.
He nods and he looks up at Trailblazer. Did you know?
I knew, but I couldn't tell you. It's an old inheritor rule. Information is all. The inheritors really dislike it when you share too much information too quickly, which is thoroughly annoying, but
How long have you known?
Since I saw your file and you joined on the Achilles.
Okay. Well, that's frustrating for a lot of reasons.
Young Ven, there's a lot of things I know that you aren't clear to know. This is one thing I wish I could have told you, but it is not in Starfleet's interest nor the adherents to agitate the inheritors if we don't have to.
So, that being said, okay, I still don't completely get it. So where did they come from?
They're us. Or they will be us.
Ven blinks.
Various civilizations across the Alpha and Beta quadrants, and indeed across the Milky Way, at this point in time, at our current tech level, have begun to understand temporal mechanics and have begun to implement it in a practical way. Not mere stumbling across time, actual controlled time travel. Starfleet's been doing it has been experimenting with it for over a century, but never a dedicated starship. Even the Victoria is an accident. We didn't mean to build it that way. It's admittedly a Treaty of Algernon dodging cloaking program. I'm not going to lie to you. It just happened to be a time ship when I did it. From that, various other civilizations are going to, much like Cochrane discovered warp drives for the humans, the various species learning about time ships will start learning how to build them better over the next couple centuries. By Earth year 2400, Common Era, inheritors will be among us. Natural born ones. People who will be the building blocks of a civilization that I don't think most people can truly fathom. So less than 100 years. Do the math for you. But his eyes sparkle as obviously you could. Because you're both science officers.
So they're the next step of everything?
Civilizational evolution. Or post-civilizational evolution.
And what? Some of them went back and decided to start families back?
Once upon a time, you have ancestors that span light years apart from each other. And those ancestors for untold centuries had no way of talking to each other or knowing each other existed. But on the advent of warp travel, your ancestors met up and became you. Likewise, with time becomes a lot more closer than ever before. If space is close now, time will become ever closer.
Oh wow.
That said, there are rules. And different people have different expectations on how to follow those rules. Hence the Time Fleet, hence temporal wars and such.
Temporal wars?
Well, there's temporal conflicts happening all around us. Some win, somewhere. Not even in this galaxy.
Wow, that's a lot.
Well, it's all relative. I can understand how it's overwhelming, but rather than give you a crash course in the inheritors, because I am not an inheritor. I'm just of a species that has frequently encountered the inheritors. We're not supposed to know they exist. It's just we have a capacity to see them in a way no one else can. So it's hard to avoid us. I really feel bad for the inheritors who dealt with the Iconians when dealing with Alcarans and Aldemona who could see inheritors.
Oh, that's... Wow.
They're largely nice, much like Starfleet is. Some of them are just tourists of time. Who wants to see Cochrane lift off? Who wants to see Sarek write his manifesto? So on.
Oh man, out of character. I wonder if that one asshole, or the time ship that one asshole stole in Next Generation was an inheritor.
He isn't. In the episode, that episode actually explains why. So, young Amos Ven, now that I know that you know you're an inheritor, I think I can tell you what I can and help you with your research. That won't violate the Pax Galacticae, and the inheritors will be irritated with me, but I can live with people being irritated with me. I've made a career of it.
He sure has.
And how? All right. Is there something specific that you want to clue me in on, or?
You're not used to dealing with me. As per the Pax Galacticae, I cannot offer you the full breadth of my technological or knowledge, much as I would like to. But if you ask me a question, I can help you check your work.
I see. Because after all, if I already know something, so to speak, there's nothing from preventing you from telling me that I'm right.
He nods.
Because in theory, this is information that I should be allowed to know. Okay, that's a loophole and a half.
The other part of my career.
Okay. Well, I think first and foremost, I have some ongoing theories regarding the effects that the Aquarius facility down below on the planet's surface has had on the development of life in this region of space.
I'm listening, Ensign. Lieutenant.
And currently, I'm trying to determine the extent to which we can decouple some of those adjustments from the facility itself with minimal harm. And I need to know if I'm on the right track or not. Give me a minute. I have to go over everything you threw my way last week. There was a lot.
Teehee. I'll let you formulate your questions here, and we'll go to someone else.
Yeah, I'm gonna have questions, and I'm not quite ready to ask them yet.
Yeah, and Trailblazer has specifically put himself at your pleasure. He's like, no, I'm gonna take my personal ship. I'm going to Halanak. I'm gonna sit myself in front of this guy and go, I just happen to be visiting you. If you happen to ask me questions, I'll happen to answer them. The benefits of being an admiral with your own fleet. The inheritors are gonna be very mad with him.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, that will fall to the lap of Ryloth Thralic, or we can check in on the Gilded Star and its exploits.
Want to throw the Roloff?
I can, sure.
What you up to, Centurion?
Great question. Okay, so let's look at what we'd need to do to make some inroads to having the state potentially added to this Halanak agreement.
Ew, that's an extended task. I need a book to be open
Yeah,
right
I'm
now.
sure it is.
Nope.
Yeah, that's a big ask.
It is, but don't worry, we've been contributing already.
One spy. I mean,
Yeah.
diplomat at a time. Well, I know. I don't know the exact. It's going to be a certain amount of magnitude in work, but I can tell you that the difficulty. While everything's loading, difficulty will be starting. Difficulty will be for. The first step is collating the agreement in particular before you even bring it to the assembly. You know, and obviously you don't have to convince your side. They want to be part of the agreement. That's why you're there. I mean, ideally they'd kick Starfleet out and it's only them have their own unique agreement, but
I mean, technically, if Starfleet's here and we've signed an agreement with them, it gets arguably that they're more on our side, more openly. So,
this first roll would start with reason, security, science, engineering, or medicine. And you're choosing the one that basically is you're researching the best argument you're going to try to make. You're trying to assemble a good argument from a Romulan point of view that could be offered to the FIS. What the primary push is like for a security reason we should be, for a scientific reason we should be, for an engineering reason, a medical reason.
Well, security seems like an interesting one at the moment, given
I will warn you as well. This can transform your role in the Halanak agreement.
Oh, lovely.
So be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, I was gonna say like security just doesn't seem ideal, given we can't really spare ships or people.
Uh-oh.
I am having an internal debate right now. Give me a second.
That was my computer. So.
Yeah. I mean, I could make that external, so like I can still see reasons for security being appropriate. Science would be an interesting one. However, Rylov is not the person to make an argument for science at all. In the sense of he has nothing to back it up with, he wouldn't know what the fuck he's talking about. And we don't need engineering. Halanak agreement does not really need engineering. No, we'll go with security, actually, yeah.
Okay, one
I
second.
can sell myself on that.
My computer's come to a crawl. We're still live. We're still talking, but my computer's gone to a super slowdown. It's you. You're doing this to me. You're the common factor.
That is a wild
Every
and
time
baseless
you
accusation.
cut to Rylov, something goes wrong with the computer.
I pressed the button to start DDoSing him.
The Romulans want to know what I know.
I want to know what the Romulans want to know that you know.
Smiley face. Secret.
Okay.
That's the most expected thing it could have been.
So it should come back. There it is. Okay. Crisis resolved. Hopefully. Just trying to open a PDF, Mr. Computer. Just bear with me. I need this
Also,
book.
part of my thinking for security is actually just, well, personnel and ships are one part of that, but also just knowing things that are going to happen is, yeah.
Difficulty remains the same. Actually, I have some threat on the board, don't I? I do.
You do,
We are gonna up that
of course.
by 1. Because they recently had a military coup conspiracy build up around them. So having and it was an outsider influence that tried to make them do the change. So someone else saying we have the answer to your security problem isn't filling them with confidence, but they're willing to listen to you because you have you've been on Halanak Station. You're one of the people that helped avert it. It's not you they distrust; it's the people you work for they distrust.
Yeah.
It's like that's a reasonable and whatever the I'll get you the full extended task because that is relevant for you to know.
I should really mark that I have that, because I do.
Summit Throne.
Oh, what is the actual Admiralty focus this week?
Negotiation.
Yeah,
Negotiation. Oh,
still.
look at that. Thank you. It's
You're
probably
welcome.
helpful here.
I am very helpful.
I was going to add it last week, and then we stopped streaming for some reason.
Look, you
know
DDoSing
why
me in
that
the middle of a
happened.
stream is, that's your fault, not mine.
Get a better system. If it wasn't so easy, it wouldn't happen.
Boop. Work 40, magnitude 4, resistance 4, and you have 5 attempts before it before you basically run out of time. I'll come back. I'll keep cycling back to you, and if you haven't achieved it by then the talks are still ongoing, but you have to wait a while to talk to the assembly because the assembly has other stuff they want to talk to. They have other matters they want to consider.
Good lord. Okay.
It's a big ask, but hey, if you can do it.
Negotiation focus? Question mark.
So you're negotiating how the Romulan state can be of aid in a security
Depending on what
fashion.
this role actually is to start with, but
Well, the first role is reason plus security. You're looking up stuff to what you can do for them.
Yeah, I mean investigative techniques potentially.
Yes, I would take that. I'm gonna put this in the description. And titling it helps.
Yeah, I feel spicy. We'll do this. You get 3.
I get 3, you say?
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's why I get 3.
That's 4. I've got. There we go. 6.
6 on what was 5 temporarily, so you still get a momentum back. You owe me 6 challenge dice.
Not great because you've got 4 resistance there. So what I will do is actually we'll use Legion of Honor, make 2 momentum, and we'll spend 1 to reroll 3.
Those are bonus, I believe, yeah?
Yes.
That's floating.
And then we'll use 1 of those for piercing.
Just peels away 2.
And then we'll spend the 1 we made on piercing as well.
Peels away 4. So all the resistance is gone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 work done so far. Is a breakthrough. This does get you at magnitude. So yeah, this first breakthrough is finding out what the Romulan state can afford to promise or offer in a Halanak agreement. Because similarly, the Federation would have to make that. Trailblazer, when he signed the helped set up the agreement, had to figure out what Federation would be willing to do. Like, and now you're saying, well, you're also trying to figure out from what you know of the Starfleet side of the Halanak agreement. Well, actually, you can tell me if you're trying to make sure you're not overlapping with Starfleet. You're not trying to replace them. You're trying to augment what they already have. Like you're trying to find a part of the agreement they're not covering, and you're gonna make yourself cover that. Or you can try to overlap and try to push Starfleet out.
More or less, the intention is to fill gaps. But if there's something that's just like, oh, we're blatantly better at this, and they don't particularly care, so
yeah, the primary focus for the Federation was the command con side of the issue. So that's why you weren't able to roll those, because that's the primary reason why Starfleet is here. They're helping set up this new exploration thing.
I mean, I'd be entirely, if we could do security science, then great. But
yeah,
we'll lead with security, and then if I can do a different one for science afterwards, be like, yeah, we're leading in both. But
I will swing away from you, but or you can spend 2 momentum and try your second attempt now. Because each time I cycle through all of you, that's basically a day going by, more or less.
You know what? Sure. Yeah.
Difficulty would go back to 4, down to 3 now because you got a hit. Oops. I will up it back to 4 because there is the peace movement is very strong, and they don't like any talk of reinforcing security, even though there is a certain minister somewhere in the cabinet who isn't fighting you on this. Seirana isn't.
Yeah. Also, you've got hackers running around doing whatever they want, and security is against that too. So,
this part will be your first presentation to the assembly. Basically, you're arguing that your topic is worth debating in the assembly in the first place. So you're not even at the full information assembly. You're at one of the lesser committees to even be considered. Normally, it'd be if you were a citizen, you'd get to go straight to assembly, or you were a member of the agreement like Thralic. But you actually are, in your current role, acting as an outside power, petitioning. It's like, well, there's a process they get you to do. You get in right before an Aurelius representative tries to convince them that they should be a subsidiary of the Aurelius consortium, and they are rejected again.
Does my connection that disappeared or yours?
I'm still here. We all still good?
Sounds good on my end.
Yeah.
Testing. Can Ryloff
Yeah, I hear you.
Uh-oh, we might have lost Ryloff.
Yeah, sorry, I was chewing spaghetti, but I can hear everyone.
I want spaghetti. That's not true. I had a lot of potatoes and steak just a little while ago, so.
Spaghetti.
Singular.
It was one very long syllable.
Yeah.
Look, slow and steady gets the spaghetti.
Mm-hmm.
I'm being a professional prop.
Getting paid?
That.
Oh, and Discord on Ryloff's side has decided to die.
But isn't that the whole purpose of Twitch, though, is to get paid?
It's not the whole purpose. Some people do it for fun. Some people watch other be paid for it.
I think I'm
Uh-huh.
back.
You're back.
You're
Yes.
back.
Okay, good. That was quite weird. And also, Discord's still giving me the loading screen, so I can't actually see right now. But
Wonderful.
I'm here. Yes.
Very good.
Lesser committee.
Lesser committee.
Something
Yes.
Aurelius.
Oh yes, I was saying that your petition is just before an Aurelius Consortium person came in to try to get them to join the to have the FAS be a subsidiary of the Aurelius Consortium, which they were denied categorically, again.
Yeah. Again.
Because they keep
Shocking.
coming in. It's like it's not against the law for them to petition, but we don't have to say yes.
Okay, yes, but this is another role, I assume, of
Yes.
the same reason security.
This one's a presence security role. Now you have to
Presence.
convince them that your
Yeah.
talk's worth hearing.
Of course.
But the increased difficulty that I brought up is because you notice on that particular committee there's a few of the peace faction where it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have to convince them that we're not here to take you over. No, really, we promise. No, really, that's not the plan.
Yes, really, that's what the other people in this war, that's their doctrine, really. So, we're the better choice.
Yeah.
No, negotiation now, though.
Your negotiation can come in now, yeah.
Yeah, I guess I don't know if my trait of subtle is hurting me here, actually, or not. It may or may not.
It
on the
will
theory.
increase resistance by 1.
Yeah. It's like,
That's-
that's not really the best
it-
thing for this.
Yeah, it works. It works against FIS virtues, as it were, values, I should say.
Oh, well, tragic. See, I bring up things that hurt me. And I can... I'll do this again. You get 3.
Dang it!
Like how it worked out pretty much the same both times. That's useful.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4,
6.
5, 6. 6 on a 5 on a 4. Sorry, so that generates 2.
That's a lot of crits.
I got 8. What are you on about?
Plus 2 more.
Yes.
What's the reroll from? Oh, it's security roll.
It's a security roll.
Give me your challenge dice, please. Because in second ed, you don't get to have them anymore.
Yeah. Enjoy them while you have them still. 6, right?
Yes. Good golly.
Damn,
Use
I
them or
wish I
lose
had-
them. We'll be running a tally on how many challenge dice have been rolled.
Yeah. I wish I had like any effects ability here. Good lord.
Yeah.
Too bad I don't think Frolic would be helping with this because
I am not. No.
she's like, no. Starfleet's not terribly interested in this happening, to be honest.
You're looking
There's
at...
a world in which there is an interest, but it's not right now.
We'll give one thing to piercing.
It's also not without some concessions, probably.
I don't know what concessions you would even ask.
Uh-huh.
We're so generous already.
Probably better treatment of remans, eased restrictions on some of the client species of the Empire. Mostly humanitarian stuff.
Eased restrictions on the client species, like them not being client species.
Exactly.
You want them to be citizens like us. Oh, what's wrong with you? No,
Okay, yeah, that'll be citizens.
Yeah, so like,
fifth
I don't
class.
understand what you mean. How can someone who's not a Romulan be a citizen? Citizen means Romulan. What do you mean?
like
Yeah, these
linguistically,
things
that's
work.
what it means.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So you do. So you get essentially what you spend a good chunk of your day researching your argument, and then finding and very quickly finding an opening in this particular subcommittee to be considered for the assembly. So you can actually have a meeting with them tomorrow, and so you're not waiting 2 days for them to reassemble. But yeah, the committee at least is willing to let you argue your bit in front of the assembly, which I will highlight. One wonders how the Ferengi representative hasn't gotten past this step, because this step's just arguing that you know what you're talking about and it's worth being talked about. It's not a vote of whether or not they agree with you.
I mean, it's if it's worth talking about, and they're like, it really isn't, because you're just gonna get denied.
It's like, so we'll make all kinds of money. Look, we do have markets and we do make money here, but like, no.
Also, the fact you want us to be a subsidiary, which means under you.
Yeah, like we our translators work just fine.
You want a government under a corporation, which isn't going to function.
Also, how do you guys feel about strict intellectual property rights? You mean intellectual property enslavements? No, we're not a very big fan of that.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yes. We can
property enslavements. I'm gonna have to remember that one.
Free information, free the code, man. Anyway, we can loop back to Ven once more, or we can go to Thralic or the Gilded Star.
I need to submit some paperwork on the Gilded Star to trademark FIS.
Wow. Ralph didn't like that one.
Yeah, okay.
To the Gilded Star. Nope, wrong place.
Alright, they fixed it. The loading screen still hadn't passed, so I just had to restart and get that.
How dare you restart your computer, monster. Yes, the Gilded Star goes into orbit of the gas giant, I presume.
Well, there's a station that this harmonizer's on, right?
There's like a floating city within the gas giant, built by the Upantari, that for
Can
them to.
Scale 3s land on it? Because the Defiant's small enough it can land on things, but I don't know if they have like ports big enough.
Your scale 3, you're within their docking size.
Okay, then we'll land.
As you start moving to land, what they do is that they actually extend a temporary landing zone with like a force field for you to land on. Because normally they would have small craft land on the actual physical landing pads, but since you're scale 3, you like all the other civil freighters around you that are scale 3, they need more space just because they have a bigger footprint. So they have temporary force field holding things to kind of buoy up the ships in a stable area. When you enter into the floating city, you would be entering through not the main shield, like not you don't enter through a deflector shield. You enter through an environmental shield that's kind of keeping out the gases from the city itself. So that way people out on the docking area don't have to wear their spacesuits necessarily. They may choose to, just out of extra safety, but it's not a requirement. It's an extra layer of them making it easier for them. You see a variety of Inferi floating around. Some floating through the field. Some workers floating around your ship. But they don't go... They kind of stand at a sort of standby distance. Like, if you want them to help repair your ship or help with the paint job or something, or add something, they're there. But if you don't, they'll go away eventually. Some go away anyway before you even say anything. They just straight up get bored of waiting for longer than a minute, and then go, I'm going to do something else, and they just take off.
It's even playing with Industry too long, because my idea of this is landing and walking down like a gangplank, and it's raining. Like I pull the coat up and over. And walk down the rainy city streets towards the harmonizer's office. I'll bring Gartoon with me because Yakan he needs some help, so he can stay behind and make the noodles and the gravy, and for dinner, and because that's what he's good at, I guess.
Yeah, Yakugan is too busy, like, I don't know, getting very easily swindled by a salesman in theory who is like upsold him on a very pointless thing. Just like, I don't know, a new controller doodad that's supposed to make him fly better or something.
We're the
Yeah.
criminals here. Why are you getting swindled?
That's very smart. Most crimes that criminals commit are, well, I guess not most, but many crimes criminals commit are against other criminals.
Besides, Yakutan, it's he doesn't have to be clever to take things from you. He just hits you until you give it to him.
He hasn't learned how to hit in theory yet.
It's difficult.
Not when, I mean, you just use a phaser.
Yeah, you this place is there is the definite footprint of the Upentari technology. Like this floating city looks very similar to Halanak Station in that sort of jellyfish shape and the bubble, but instead of it being like an enclosed space station, it's more like a dome city. Like there's the outer shield, there's the dome city, and then there's like all the industrial parts and tendrils that reach down into the clouds. Except here, there's way more in theory around. So there's a lot more twinkling lights moving around, people floating this way and that around you. But there are aliens here. There are Savix Cast and Upentari here. It's mostly free information people. But there are the occasional, Shackleton species here or there, a Klingon here or there. Not in any great number. Gartun draws some attention because they're not used to seeing Gorn this far out. But the Infospherians are kind of glad to see another alien. It's like, ooh, look at that, cool. Whereas some Alpha Quadrant and Beta Quadrant species, like, oh shit, it's a Gorn. Oh god.
Yeah.
Why aren't security doing anything? And it's like, hey, there's a guy over there. What? He's not doing anything. He's walking. He's allowed to walk. Leave us. Stop harassing people.
Yeah, but
Also,
not even just walking. He's walking at like 1 mile an hour.
yeah. I will say that it's not particularly rainy, but it is very foggy everywhere. And there's big plumes of light because of all the theory. So imagine a foggy night, except it's almost like there's ghosts floating in every which way direction of various colors, all around you. Lighting is not a concern here. There are very few. Actually, there are dark places. They're at ground level as close to ground level as you can get around here.
Then I'll head to the harmonizer's office.
You find the harmonizer's office well enough. And you see an Upentari slime sitting behind the desk with a harmonizer's badge kind of floating amongst their body. And there's some deputies coming and going here or there. And they see the harmonizers are dressing for this thing or that thing. Go deal with that. It's a lot more. It's a lot less.
Does the harmonizer have like a separate office, or are they just out in the middle of all this?
They're out in the middle of the bullpen sort of look. Everyone's. It's a lot more FIS looking than the security office that Kovic has. He's kind of making sure he's easy to get at to everybody.
All right, then I'll approach. What did the informant say this harmonizer's name was?
One moment. I'm getting a token. Whoops, not that one. Helps if you can see them.
Oh, so they're like bubblegum soft serve.
Uh-huh.
kind of want that to be its name.
Welcome soft serve?
That's what it looks like, and that's a first and a last name, right?
It sure is, yeah.
Just like he's really into Earth stuff.
Yeah.
This is Harmonizer Unchar.
I'll approach and say,
Yeah,
You
you
look
do
like
that,
a-
and then when you look over, yes, you are. Yeah, just give him the
He's,
tickets for that.
merchant.
And then, sorry, what was that?
He's a merchant extraordinaire.
Presence command difficulty 1, because every time you try to say something, someone keeps talking to him, and he immediately looks over at them. Only difficulty 1, it's just a matter of being persistent until eventually he pays full attention to you.
Can
Uh,
Gartoon assist with fitness command here, being like imposing presence?
Certainly can.
I was gonna ask, can Gartoon use the trait Gorn to bring the difficulty down on this?
Actually, if guard leads, it goes to 0 because Unshar's
How-
curiosity will make him want to
Yeah,
talk to
I
him.
mean Gartoon is a second command, so he might like hiss and speak up if.
Yeah, sure.
Well, Mecha did a New York
Yeah, I'll
accent
take,
for Yakuza, so now I need you to give a weird regional accent to the.
Oh
the hiss.
God.
Just a generic New Yorker one, just like Yakuza.
Oh no, that's not wrong. Come on. Give me a Cockney reptile.
Look, I was already figuring out a voice, and now I have to rethink it. Not happening. Da Kusya was speaking on the matter of gifts, of our most esteemed ship bringing trade to this port, and how you might be of assistance in that.
For you, presence, command, or con, difficulty 0. Unchar immediately, once they catch... The translator struggles for a second, so they just hear the hissing at first, until their translator picks up what you're saying, and then it's, ooh, what's that? Who's talking?
Oh, sorry, I was messing with the wrong sheet.
Focus in negotiation?
No.
Dang.
You can, yeah.
Okay.
You
all right.
are looking at the wrong sheet then.
Well, no, negotiation is the Admiralty focus.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes more sense.
Yeah, no,
It's
I
like,
was gonna
did
say
I
I was
give him-
looking at
he was supposed to
tactics,
be-
and I was like, no.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think he has that, but
It's called
We
cheating.
all have this focus, comrade. All right. Roll me 2.
Generate 3. Oh, hello. Yes, just 5 minutes. Get Deputy Morrison on it. Yes, Morrison, over there. Yep, you too. Sorry, yes.
I heard that you're a discerning Bintari, and that you might be interested in our latest crowd management inventory and assailant arresting technologies.
I suppose I would be, but depending on its specifications. And price, of course.
Oh, an introductory offer of free for the first few items, then we can negotiate a further price. And I'll try to sleaze my way up with a deal here. Intending to try to sell him some. I mean, I guess whatever he's looking for, but my first thought was disruptors or something, because those are much better than the shotguns he's walking around with.
He likes his shotguns. They're perfectly civilized.
But has he ever shot a disruptor?
No.
Yeah,
But you burn people to death. I mean, how cruel is that?
Oh, but they have multiple settings. Okay, if you don't like that, what about these Starfleet phasers that fell off a truck?
I don't know. You can disintegrate people with those things, and it's just a longer
Oh, no,
burn.
Look at this setting.
They fell off the back of a shuttle.
No disintegrations. That's what the setting is.
Oh, it's that stun setting. That's real? I thought they just made that up. Yeah, so on and so on. It's a lot of that. What are you trying to get out of him specifically? Or are you just trying to butter him up at this point?
So I want to actually impress him with the phasers, if that's the thing that he'll go for. And then talk about maybe a single phaser, right, for free that he personally can have. And then I can, if he's willing to help me with this one friend that I need help with, maybe then I could swing a better deal for the additional phasers his deputies will want.
You can
Maybe phrasing it as like a gift for an introduction with the appropriate, like, administrative officials.
The whole thing is to do the same thing I did on the other planet. It's to double speak, right? Because I don't want out and open quid pro quo is the kind of thing that gets you arrested. Double speak quid pro quo is the kind of thing that a good lawyer can get you off on.
This is present security opposed. You do get one free hit because Unchar, as you already know, as a trait is greedy. So this sort of offer works on them better than most Upantari. There is an opposed role in that some enterprising deputy might read through what's going on and might want to get a promotion to harmonizer instead of being deputy. Because Unchar, as long as you can get through to him, he'll probably go for it because he's the kind of Upantari that would do this. But if some deputy happens to clue in what's being said, they might not arrest you. They might, but they definitely will go after the harmonizer. Which one he won't be able to help you, so. And I bought a full mint.
So I would assume 1 point of merchant allowed this to happen. Can I use a second point? My second now and third total and final opportunity for some other trinket or security apparatus that might impress some deputy enough that they
might want to just leave it alone.
Yeah.
Like, look, do you want special personal force fields that work especially well in this kind of environment, or do you want or do you want to tattle?
Do you want to sniff here, or do you want this thing that could actually increase your chances of surviving in a firefight the next time you're in one as a deputy?
I'll give you your choice of me either buying one less die or you get one free hit. I'll get my 3 threat back, but I will willfully.
One free hit because I don't imagine this deputy is got, unless he's like 5 with the focus. I think this comes out in my favor. I mean, he might be the best discerning deputy out there, but I'll take that risk.
Very good.
Um,
Gar kills everyone in the room.
Yeah, You want direct
will
resist?
spend six momentum on the focus of negotiation.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Admiral, for letting me do crime.
Wasn't the intent, but that's real good.
Ooh, that's okay, but oh, my head.
Hey, lizard boy, help.
That's
Lizard
like
Boy
that.
is helping. You don't know. He might be into it.
One,
Dumb
two,
New York reptile and the other reptile is into being degraded. You've got quite a crew, merchant.
Jeez.
God, I'd hate to hear them talk to each other.
Funny you should say. No, I'm just kidding.
There's
Yeah,
a
no.
reason they get on so well.
You form momentum is generated
'Cause-
as you're able to go back and forth on this, and then you don't know which specific deputy it is, but you've this isn't your first rodeo. You know somebody, especially in an open, and there's various aliens as former Starfleet intelligence you've probably run into. Not all police stations have a private office. Some of them are open concept like this, and it's like, let's make sure I'm overheard saying something that's useful to whoever's listening in. Sort of thing. So you're able to kind of eventually harmonize it and ensure reaches out a tendril to you.
This is like a handshake.
You would know that he's trying to communicate. He's essentially trying to psychically whisper something to you, but it can be construed as a handshake as well.
Sure.
Touch to your hand. You get a lot of random memories of their favorite place to eat. The laser chess match they just saw the other day. Pink is a beautiful color. I seem to be a little biased about the topic for some reason. And also, they can have the transfer. The person you want, they can have working on your ship as to aid in the commercial success of the free information sphere as their punishment.
Perfect. Would it be possible to spend momentum to make him cheaper to get a favor from with Rep? Because he's
For
gonna cost
two,
me
I'll
or
say
three,
so,
right?
yeah. For 2 momentum, I'll say for 2 momentum if you want. He'll be cheaper because you're not offering him something right now, but you are letting him know of certain things that make his life easier, like something along the lines of, hey, you can get a deal at this or that, or there's a certain bad guy you know who you don't like and you don't mind this harmonizer getting the collar. It's like, hey, that guy, hey, he hides there, screw him, you know. So he's a lot more inclined to owe you a favor than not. Be up above and beyond the monetary and tangible thing you gave him. That advantage is up to you how you want to phrase that. If you want to spend the 2 momentum. And that'll reduce the cost by
Yeah,
1.
I do. I mean, I think it's gonna be like getting the promise and the agreement that, like, I have connections with this Starfleet section, and you seem to really like their phasers, and wouldn't you know, I have some expectations that, despite them not actually having trucks, a whole lot more phasers are going to be falling off of trucks in the near future. And I know just the slime to sell them to.
It's called a replicator, not a truck, okay? It's a replicator.
He doesn't know. He doesn't understand what a replicator is. You don't have that technology yet.
Hey. They have food replicators.
Yeah, he doesn't
Now, they have
understand the
food
thing that I'm
synthesizing,
giving him
very
has literally 0 value to me.
different.
Still constitutes weapon trading. Still illegal. Not that he cares at the moment, because his phaser's now. It fell off the back of a truck or whatever. Space truck. He doesn't care. Here's the phaser.
It fell
Go
off,
shoot the
it
bad
fell out of
guys.
the runabout.
Runabout,
I
space
that,
truck.
Like, I like the idea that like they are so xenophilic that they will adopt the phrase "it fell off the back of a truck," despite not fully understanding what the human conception of a truck is. They just think it's like an expression that means "I found it."
And it sounds funny in Nupantari, so
Yeah,
makes you sound exotic and with it.
and cultured. Yeah,
Culture. Even though the cultural minister going like, that's, you don't know what that means, do you?
Oh, that's so funny.
I love the idea that just random cultural aphorisms pop up more and more in the FIS as they get more contact with people.
yeah. The FIS is like their languages are filled with very hard to understand like metaphors and idioms. It takes a long time to translate because all of them are stolen from other cultures, but then like there's like linguistic drift as to what the term means.
Yes, they've been like
I
repurposed.
mean, that's not too
Funny.
much different from like Kusha ending this conversation by being like Darmok and Jalad at Tanagra.
Which linguistically is relevant. You came together for a
That's
common
what
cause.
this
Yeah.
This is Kusha and Unshar behind the GMC.
What the hell was I looking up? Right.
AK-47 bouncing off Ford pickup.
Look, look, guys. I mean, the apple doesn't fall far when the doctor's away.
That's just mixing metaphors. Get with it, man.
Wow.
I'll come at you. I don't care if you're a nerd. I'll break your glasses. Let's go. Now, excuse me while I continue running the Star Trek game.
So yeah, I will go collect my starship builder.
You will have yourself one perfectly good grunk.
One drunk.
Oops, I have the wrong thing in front of me. That would have been. Oh, yeah, I won.
As walking with Gronk from the cell will be like, it was really hard getting you out of here. I need you to do some work with the Federation to, make it work. And also, we can't blow your cover, right? So you actually do have to, clean up the Gilded Star occasionally, just so, people don't get the wrong idea. Because, this cop doesn't care. He's never going to check up on Gronk again, I imagine. But I do want someone to scrub the ship occasionally. And
So you're lying to him no, I'm not telling you to scrub the refresher, but you do have to because otherwise you'll go back to jail.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
forging the condition of his release to say.
Will that help me
I have
be?
the
Will that
official
help me?
paperwork to say his job is to help work on this ship, right? So
Will my soul be pure? More pure plus for doing this?
what species is Gronk again?
Pecklid.
This is a weird thing, though.
This is gonna be easier than I thought.
You've assembled a nightmare crew to herd, though.
I was
You are never getting a single thing done ever again.
Yes, Grunk, you have to do two things for your soul to be pure. One is build the best starship that has ever been built. The second is scrub the refresher.
Which do I do
And then-
first?
Oh my god.
That is the journey of each Grunk to decide the ship or the refresher.
You
That
have
is
more
how
than
your
one
soul
Grunk?
becomes double plus very good.
Oh,
Is there
no.
other Grunk? Am I clone? He looks very excited.
I like kneel down, hand on his shoulder, and say, "There's a little Grunk in all of us."
Oh no.
He
he's
stares into your chest and seems very concerned.
Oh no, he's a himbo.
Doesn't it hurt?
I don't know that you could ever describe a pack led with that word.
Yeah, I don't know. That one.
You have to attempt Presence Command difficulty 2. It isn't trying to lie to him. It's to get him to do what you need him to do. Because he has to understand.
wrong.
Otherwise, he's going to get running around in circles asking for... Actually, I'll increase the complication range by 1. As Grunk has a tendency to have some initiative. And that initiative usually involves things going missing. So you have to be very careful how you talk to him, because he might see it as a reason to take things.
This is not a Kayusha task. This is a Gartoon task. Gartoon is the first officer.
Yep.
He makes sure things do not disappear. He's also much more intimidating.
He also makes sure people disappear, but that's something else.
That's called an
Yeah,
People
airlock.
don't have
Gartoon
to
might eat
disappear.
Crunk if he doesn't act appropriately.
Throw an arm around Grunk and go, all right, my friend, let's go over the rules here on this ship.
I like
Make
rules.
sure you follow them very, very closely. What's the role here?
Following rules makes me pure. Yeah. Presence Command difficulty 2.
All right.
With a complication increase, because Grunk will find any way. If you say something, he might start taking something because he thinks that that's what you told him to do.
Okay.
Thieving is purity, apparently, which that's not a thing you can really argue him out of for some reason.
Uh-huh.
He's very convinced that's the correct thing to do.
Got it.
That way he takes pieces of their soul and adds it to his, and they become more pure. He's helping.
All right. Getting a read on this guy's ideology and specific ideas of purity. I'd like to try and sculpt the message to fit around that, and argue for a focus in tactics.
At a complication increase.
I might also suggest determinations win on Directive 1.
Yeah, I got thinking.
Because he's going to be a pretty terrible shipwright if he just starts stealing stuff off the station.
Yep.
He's just going to end up locked up again. And Kovic's not going to be bought with a couple of disruptors.
Yeah, so Gartoon will spend for Directive 1.
Yep.
Find suppliers of materials and expert shipwrights for next construction.
So you're basically complication checking at this point.
Yep.
Well, gain 2 momentum.
All good.
Yeah, Garton has a nice long chat with Grunk. This
If
probably
you
won't be the
don't
last
follow
time.
the rules, you end up between my teeth.
Really? I'm
It
too
would be
big.
my pleasure.
Well, you're nice.
Yeah, you can't subtly threaten him.
Subtlety
You
is
have to be out in the open about it.
subtlety's
Oh,
lost
no,
on Grunk.
I think Gartoon is doing that bit just for his own pleasure.
It's like this is a funny conversation.
Yeah.
Why are you trying to make my Goran first officer kinky? Stop doing that.
But I'm gonna leave that alone. So, as the camera pans away, I'll just leave that alone. So, we go to Opentar. I blame the captain of that ship for that. So, one less moment,
He's the one.
and
Getting-
hey, you know, to each ship their own. Then, you salty dog, or Thralic, perhaps.
I do
Uh,
have a couple questions now, unless Thralic wants to.
Go for it. I can go after that.
So I think the big thing that Ben wants to know about right now is the terraforming processes, because that's the big one.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the thing that, by my best understanding, is that's the process that's kind of currently constantly ongoing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In order-
Yeah.
Because the uplift process was done like aeons ago. Like that was a process that happened and finished.
It's self-perpetuating, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what do you ask
Whereas-
Trailblazer?
Do we have the necessary technology to replicate the terraforming processes that Aquarius is performing? Even if it's just the end result.
The Federation has weather control and atmospheric terraforming maintenance facilities, but it's usually on the scale of making a Class L into Class M, or a Class K into at least a Class L. But we're talking about a significant maintenance of an extraordinary circumstance.
Mm-hmm.
So it is within technological possibility. But you would have to manufacture on planet a facility, the most advanced weather control and atmospheric maintenance station the Federation has ever seen. It's possible, but it is not a
Well,
easy
what
thing to do.
about what about utilizing the currently ongoing processes to help kickstart the technology on our end? Sort of like how to provide another example, like on Venus or on Tenarios 7, where the effect just sort of helps perpetuate itself once it's properly gotten started.
That would require you to parse and collate inheritor data that you can utilize in a federational practice.
Well, I mean, it's possible, right?
Many things are possible with the right application of the sciences, yes.
Okay. Good to know. That's actually very helpful. Does anyone have any specific questions that they would want answered? Most likely, again, Thralic. Because there are a lot of things I could ask about Aquarius and the Inheritors.
I guess maybe ask some stuff about along the lines of the stability of this tech. Like
Yeah, this stuff has been here.
that's our big concern. Our big concern is like, can we make sure that this system is stable going forward? We don't necessarily need to replace the like, we want to replace the power systems of the ships. We don't necessarily need to replace the terraforming capacity.
Hmm.
We just need to ensure it's stable.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, what's the lifetime of a facility like this? I mean, it's been down there for what, 5 billion years? Was that the amount of time?
Mm-hmm. About that. Anyway.
Something along those lines.
I'll put it to you in the way an inheritor would. Measure twice, cut once. Anything inheritors do is done with that philosophy. That facility is not meant... How do I put this? If the Federation were to build a house next to the house of a clockwork steam society, even a simple Federation grade house would still withstand pressures and weights beyond them. The inheritors make things that withstand the strains of time. And that's just for their houses.
This is a dedicated facility, purpose-built for it. Got it. Then to that end, I guess my next question is, as someone who's, I suppose, directly descended from inheritors, does that mean I have some special capacity for understanding it? Is there something specifically different about me because I come from the inheritors, or is this just something that is purely a matter of title?
You are a post-civilizational lineage. Humans and betazoids have their ancestors that speak old languages that you would struggle to do today without your translator. You are further along than your peers in the same regard, if not further. And there are certain things that the Federation takes for granted that Earth of the 20th century would not have comprehended. Warp field dynamics, unified field theory. And those are things that a secondary school student can learn. For you,
so it's less of something in my blood or genetics or what have you, and more just my upbringing, I guess.
Inheritor, he does actually stop. Like, you can see struggling to say what he's trying to say. His eyes, you see streaks of light going across his eyes.
Is there a biological component or not? Is it nature or nurture?
It is both. You're thinking too third dimensionally. You're thinking too linearly.
Okay. All right. That, I mean, it's not a direct answer, but at least it's an answer. And Um, well, at least it indicates to me that it's not just happenstance. That I'm able to learn.
I will add, out of pursuit of truth, that I cannot fathom, or I do not know specifically, or I have not seen you grow up myself, how precisely your parents raised you. But I would posit that an inheritor would be who willfully did not make sure their child had the same advantages they did would be rather unusual. Your father may have done that. He may have been, I mean, he was rather unusual from my understanding in the first place. I mean, inheritors not knowing they're inheritors is almost, it doesn't happen that often. But it does happen.
What do you know about him? They disappeared during the Dominion War. That's not something that happened during the original timeline.
Right, he didn't see that.
It's kind of the question I've been dreading, honestly.
I hesitate to go into too much detail, but I don't have to tell you how to look in a library. And I don't think that if you were to look in the library and looked up the anti-desertium, that you would find the answer for yourself.
Anti-desertium.
I know what happened, Omnisven. But the way I know it
breaks the rules.
Or
telling me would break the rules.
It's a step further than I feel comfortable performing.
Understood.
Rules breaking is not the only rules I care about, truly, are the Pax Galacticae. And from time to time, Starfleet regulation. And Federation law, I suppose. He blinks his eyes and seems surprised at his own answer. Like he wasn't sure he could say it.
What was could you type out the name of that proper noun that he threw the thing he said to look up?
Sure. There you go. That's correct. I had to double check how it was spelled.
Interesting. Okay. Cool. So that's why. So the nature of them as a post-civilizational society is why they have all this information.
As a side question before I lose the thought, is the guild start heading back to Halanak Station? I presume it is.
Well, that's a question. Are there any people we need left? Because I don't think we're not to the stage yet where we immediately need Grunk back at the station. So if there's other person or thing I need to go pick up, then I don't need to go back to Halanak first. I guess materials. So, without interrupting Vin and Trailblazer, no, then I'll just make a call to Carpenter to get next steps rather
Gotcha.
than coming all the way back.
Yeah, because if you're like, well, I'm already near the place I'm going to go, I can just grab it while I'm on my way, sort of thing. Don't tell me to get milk while I'm on my way back. You know? Or after I get back. Anyway. Any further follow-up, then, or do you...
Yeah, I think I did have one further question.
Very good.
If I'm remembering correctly, the first time I heard about Aquarius was, I was on, like, a monitoring station, and I saw the constellation in some readings.
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
What was that about? Why did I see Aquarius then?
Someone was looking for a call and response. You just happened to see it. And as an inheritor, you understood it as Aquarius. And you articulated it as Aquarius. But that's not actually what was there.
What was there?
A call in hopes of an answer.
And is that call still unanswered?
Depends if it's still out there, if you still see the signal. I don't...
Hey, I'll double check if that signal is still present. If so, maybe Aquarius holds an answer to that currently unsolved riddle. I'll add that to the list. Yeah, this has been a great help. Do you have any other advice on just making sure that things stay stable down there? And I've kind of been thrust into this position as the Federation expert on this, but I tell you what, I don't feel much like an expert yet.
There are 5 maxims of the Inheritors that I'm aware of. I haven't heard of more, and I haven't heard of less. But these seem to be what their entire post-civilization seems to look to. They're not perfect, like any maxim, but I believe if you consider them, they will become obvious to you, more so than me. I know it from a academic outsider point of view, but you are of that civilization. The norm, the cultural norm will become more relevant to you. Post-cultural norm, I suppose. He holds up a finger. Information is all. Respect your elders. They know more than you. Measure twice, cut once. The 4th one I don't understand. Invitations to dance. His eyes vaguely cloud over and you see a light that seems to be searching at the end, and then it goes away. A look of he's unsure, which is not a face he gets a lot.
Does that phrase mean anything to me?
Insight plus command difficulty of 4.
Okay. Inheritor technology focus?
At complication increase, it's related. The technology is part of it, but it's not the main point.
Yeah, I figured. It's some sociological whatever. I'm making myself expert for this session.
Yep. Means your bonus value exists now.
Yep. Then I'm just deciding what I want to spend. Difficulty 4, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Top of the class trait?
You'll have to walk me through that trait. I don't see it yet.
Okay. Ooh, here's an interesting one. Intuitive Stellar Observer.
No.
Nope. Okay. Cool. I'm just looking at what I've got. I've got a few things. Insight Command, you say?
Yep.
Hmm.
Oops, wrong ship. This one.
Take 3 threat. I'm spending 3 momentum for the full.
Full minute.
I am going to spend my value, Inheritor of the Inheritors, to reroll those 2.
Gain 1.
I generate 1.
Boop, boop.
And I actually generate a second bonus. I generate a bonus momentum because I'm an expert.
Yeah, I would like to trigger my methodical planning and assist on this roll here. This is what I asked Ven to do in our planning meeting.
Yeah, it is, yep.
Love methodical plan. So I'm assisting you here with Presence Command.
Cool.
And you can generate any bonus momentum as well.
Generate 1 and have another bonus moment. In essence, you're like Ven has to think about it, and then the more he thinks about it, he starts thinking back to his childhood and stories that his dad would tell him, or certain holo novels he made sure you played with him, with the eye of, if he was trying to tell me something, he was trying to tell you something that you need to know now, then. You almost get the sense that your father was talking to you. And at the time, as a kid, you were lost because you're just playing a game with your dad. Whatever. Let's do the thing. But you're realizing now he wasn't talking to that Ven. He was talking to this Ven. And it's like, it's not one conversation. It's kind of scattered across your childhood.
Oh, that's awesome.
To summarize, in essence, the invitation to dance is the rule about if someone sees you time travel, it is on you to make sure one of 3 things happens. Sorry, if someone who isn't a time traveler or doesn't know about time travel sees you do it, then you have to do one of 3 things. Either they must be made to forget or never tell about what they saw. If someone tricked you into showing them, then you can try to make the person forget or never tell, but you also have to go after whoever tricked you, because that person's attacking your society, is attacking the inheritors as a society. So it's on you to do something about that. So you don't get attacked again, but also for other people to be safe. If the other two things in consideration, the third thing is to invite them to join your society, to become an inheritor themselves. If you can't make them promise to forget, if you can't make them forget, or get them to promise to never tell, or you can't get the person who did the attack, because they'll just use that person over and over to come at you. You might have to invite them to dance, and that's a maxim where you always have to be thinking. That's why you always have to be super careful about when you time travel, where you time travel, and around who you do it, and who knows about it.
Got it. Okay. First question off my bonus momentum. Does that seem like something that would be an extension of, what we consider like a temporal prime directive?
If anything, it's the other way around. The temporal prime directive is derived from this. It's a derivation.
Weird. Okay. Second question. Do I get the impression then... Do I get the impression that my father was invited to dance, so to speak? Or was he... Was he just... Was he actually an inheritor?
He's actually an inheritor.
Original OG inheritor.
Yeah.
Instead of someone who was brought into the fold.
Yeah, he was originally an inheritor.
Okay. That... Van says, oh wow. Invited to dance.
I'm glad that makes sense to one of us.
No, it's, best I can tell, what we consider our temporal prime directive is sort of a derivation of the invitation to dance. Ensuring that people don't know about the inheritor's ability to time travel, and if the information can't be contained, then the individuals who become aware of it are invited to dance.
Some sort of temporal responsibility, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, the last maxim I know of is never fight for a lost cause.
Okay. Well,
those 5 maxims, as I said, will help you understand a lot of how they work. I have to puzzle at it and speak with experts, but for you, I imagine that you will know things just like you realized about the invitation to dance. You will know things that I would have to research. There's a lot more you know that I don't. Though I can certainly try to help you figure it out as best I can.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a lot.
It's pretty heavy. Yeah.
Heavy, there's that word again.
So something wrong with the Earth's gravitational pull? On the back of that, we look to Thralic.
All right. Well, I think I'll be doing something much less heavy. Politics.
Yes.
Not more politics, no. So I'd like to kick out the Romulans from the station, all of them, including the fleet liaison.
Yeah, exactly. No. Garlic is going to be maneuvering a little bit in FIS political circles and getting a sense for what the predominant tones are around kind of the two main paths forward for the FIS of developing further independence and starting to try to negotiate the Halanak agreement into more of cross civilizational um,
Alliance.
frameworks and alliances, or whether the general mood in the air seems to be more towards some form of Federation integration, because I know that's been floated as well.
You're trying to determine which one they are likely to go, or they want
I'm
to
trying
go?
to get kind of scoping out for what the FIS political apparatus is, where the winds are blowing, I guess.
Insight command difficulty of 2.
All right.
Assisted by station's computers command, because that you can look it up on the station computer, because the various political assembly things are recorded. So.
Yep. This one might be at comp, but I'd like to ask for focus and guidance, because I'm trying to determine where my guidance is needed.
I'll take that at comp increase. I agree with you.
Cool. Let's see. Rate of flag officer here, as putting me closer towards mingling into the political scenes rather than just the military and organizational side of things.
I'll say so, yeah.
I will buy 1 die with momentum then.
That's 4 generated.
Don't know why that rolled twice. Yep.
Its current lean is toward a variety of alliances. A motto of the FIS is unity without boundaries. They want to create. They want the infosphere to extend as far as they can. So,
right.
Federation integration isn't quite what they're thinking, but at this point, they do see they don't see the Halanak agreement as a curiosity anymore. It has shown its benefit with helping with the helping avert the coup and helping with discovering Aquarius. So there has been benefits, but Federation values are something they still haven't quite met 1-to-1 on.
Right.
Prime Directive, for example, is something they don't agree with, and which is that's kind of a sticking point.
Yeah, I imagine that's actually one of the biggest sticking points, probably.
Yeah, because if they're formed by violating that principle, and to them it's worked out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I feel like in that case, what Frelic is going to be trying to do is look for where the FIS right now is kind of weak to potential hostile not necessarily just militarily hostile, but hostile like intercessions by other powers, and see what she can do about storing up those weaknesses through her political connections and through like recommending tactics that have worked in other polities that are associated with but not members of the Federation.
Insight security difficulty 4.
All right. Strategy and tactics is a focus.
Yeah.
Two. I would like to spend toward my standing directive 1.
Strengthen relations with the FAS and assist with the integration of personnel and infrastructure. I can see this working toward that end, yeah.
It's not. I have any traits to apply here? We'll see. Prosthetic arms? No. Decorated military family or relentless?
I'll take relentless.
And I will roll like that.
Generate 1.
Generate
do
3.
three.
'Cause I spent towards. Yeah.
So you have 1 float.
Mm-hmm.
So currently, the one thing they had covered on their own with no one else is being able to traverse wherever they want in the galaxy. Quantum slipstream drive, that isn't an issue for them anymore. Federation has added in a sort of tried to give them some sort of new organizational structure and help advise them on how to have a proper exploration division of some kind. They don't really have that. It's a lot more haphazard, research project to research project. Whereas something like, even if it's in Starfleet, some sort of navigational process needs to be developed, and that's kind of where Starfleet's been helping them. And helping defend Halanak Station, at least, from people trying to intimidate them. However, that does mean that there is a lot of... They don't have a proper full military fleet. That's kind of why the military movement almost happened. That's why, say, Rana is still a proponent of pushing for a militarization, if not full-on change of value, but at least a larger fleet, a self-defended fleet. That's a weakness they have, because if it's a straight-up fleet fight, that's an issue. It would take time for someone to get out here and help them. You would have to stall without a Halanak fleet here. There are certain engineering challenges they're running into, which you are kind of helping them with. This whole NX project is helping them understand how Starfleet space trains work, how to build a big ship, because they've never built big ships before. Halanak Station is the largest thing they ever built. They never thought you could build a ship that's big. it's one of those things where it can be super easy to build something small, super easy to make something really big, but it's kind of hard for them to build the stuff in between because they've never had to do that, and now they have to figure. It's like, well, no, there is a value in having a scale 5, a scale 4, scale 5, or even scale 6 ship. Like those ships seem too big to them, and you have to show them why that's different. Scientifically, they are advanced in a lot of areas, but they do have clear gaps, like subspace sciences they don't know very well at all because they never had to deal with it. They don't understand cloaking technology very well because, again, it's not something they've encountered very often. Lots of things like that. Things that you may take for granted, they don't know. But there are things that they do know, so there's a certain reluctance to take. It's hard to tell them that you know everything because you don't. There are things that they know way more about than you do. So you're trying to find those gaps to help them with without coming off condescending. And lastly, the one thing they're trying their best to do is the xenobiological and xenocultural understanding. Them being xenophilic, it really helps in that regard. But the problem is they don't know about, say, Klingon. They know what other species let them know, or things they can research. But like the specifics of Trill biology, they've only started learning about that only because the Federation told them about it. How exactly Romulan physiology works, our cultural norms are, Klingon biology and cultural norms are, how to deal with new aliens and new medical threats. That's a culture they didn't have to deal with. So right now you're kind of helping cover a base. You're helping them cover to put it in department sense. They covered the con department. You're currently covering the command department, or helping them with it so they can focus. They can try to develop into the other 4 departments, but they lack in that. What Starfleet has an advantage in those other 4 departments compared to the FIS.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there is an offer in the assembly of a certain fleet liaison saying that certain security measures may be handled by the Romulan state. But...
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So they might not be lacking in that if he manages to convince them of his plan. The Romulan state may cover that base for them.
Mm-hmm. All right. That's good information to have.
You have a float?
Am I doing anything with that float? Probably asking a question. Trying to formulate something. Is there... Huh.
Is there a probably. I'll take that.
Is there... Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's my momentum spend. It's a yes or no question. Goddamn.
Yeah.
So my thought here is like setting up some sort of like kind of cross-learning institution, like a research institute or a college that can help further bridge those gaps, because we've had some of that with just the Halanak agreement and there being this cross-pollination, but making something official, like an institution of some form that's working on that kind of scientific collaboration, What are the roadblocks to doing that?
You basically would have to go through a similar process. Actually, no. You can skip a step that Ryloff's going through, and you have to convince the assembly that you have an idea that's worth that the assembly should do it. Because if you want the idea to actually take with society, then it's just the Infospherians as a whole will look to the information assembly and go, "Hey, is this a good idea?" You might get if you just build it. Like you could just build it and hope people show up, and some people will just out of sheer curiosity. But you won't cause societal change that way. You need the assembly to be backing you and to be on board with the idea.
Yeah.
That's the biggest roadblock currently is convincing the assembly that it's worth having.
All right. Then I'd like to, I think, presumably start wheels turning in background for getting those conversations rolling, which probably starts with more unofficial conversations with, various members of the assembly, individually massaging the details of it before bringing like a full proposal before the assembly.
Funny enough, I know what template to use.
Yeah.
Cross-cultural program. Yeah?
Yep.
But I'll let you see that number. But for now, I'll peel away momentum. And peel to the next day. But before that day, I imagine narratively it makes more sense that Kuzia probably hails Halanak at the end of the day as he's, you're getting on your ship, you have Grunk, your first officers corralling him. But before heading straight to Halanak, it's like, well, you don't want to go all the way there and then find out there's something else you needed to get. So I imagine you give a hail to Halanak, asking for
me
Carpenter.
and my little buddy Grunk are gonna go to the captain's office and call Commander Carpenter.
I'm sorry, are you going to my office or are you calling me?
You're being hailed.
The Defiant can't fit in your office, so I'm going to my office.
All right. Carpenter here. You're not a temporal agent, are you? Oops.
Grunk
I'm
here
with the
wants to be.
light.
This is Grunk. He's your new master shipbuilder.
Hello. I build ships really well.
She blinks slowly, and then looks at Kusia, and then looks back at Grunk, and then looks back at Kusia and says, I can begin an interview process. Grunk, Grunk, did you go to any Institute of Higher Learning to study engineering?
What?
Oh God.
Do you have any relevant degrees
Oh,
or
you mean
other
schooling?
certificates of mastery? Yes.
Oh,
Engineering isn't.
I got no
Go
schooling.
He's an
Okay.
on-the-job learner.
Well, Grunk, do you have any
Actually, gains some momentum.
relevant job experience as an engineer?
Uh-huh.
That was a question, Grunk.
He answered it.
Oh, right. Yes. Nods.
Yes is the
Affirmation.
Grunk,
Yes.
what
I am Grunk.
experience? God damn it.
Grunk's trying to help.
Carpenter is like looking increasingly frustrated. She says, Grunk, what experience do you have in ship engineering?
I take them and purify them and make them better.
Sorry, what?
And then other people buy them. And I get many latinums. Sometimes candy. I don't like candy. It's too sweet. I prefer meat. Better for you.
Grunk?
Yes. I am Grunk.
God. Grunk, have you built a ship before?
Do you mean like floaty ship or starship?
Starship.
Yes.
Okay, so you worked at a shipyard.
No.
Where did you build these ships?
In a shipyard. I did not work there.
He's an inventive fellow.
Everything
Um,
that
um,
Dad says.
Yeah, okay. At that point, Carpenter says, well, I think that's enough, Grunk. You will hear back from us about the nature of your employment shortly. May I speak to Kusia alone now?
I don't know.
Hold
Can
on,
you?
Hold on here.
Can
Okay.
she?
That's not helpful. Grunk,
Oh, sorry.
I'm gonna pull up this Grunk. This is a file on the Miranda class.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Can you suggest significant improvements to Commander Carpenter on this ship? I'm gonna set him in front of the station and really hope that I was correct in learning that he is a shipwright.
It is a difficulty 2 task. Would you like him to spend any momentum?
All of it.
Full net. Got it.
I've spent too much on this. My expense forms. They must be approved.
I mean, also, the nature of your employment is at stake here, because Carpenter already doesn't like you, and now she thinks you're just, like, openly failing to do your job, and thinks you just recruited, like, a village
1,
idiot and
2,
passed him off as an
3,
engineer.
4.
Well,
Generates 2 momentum.
Kusia, I believe the term is sunk cost fallacy.
no, I've got a profit of 2 momentum. I've only sunk about 10 into it.
Can I build with any parts I want? Or do I have to use Slap's table? These parts. Fetty parts.
Parts that can... Only parts which you can achieve legally.
Oh.
We'll work on it.
Oh, but can buy though, so... Oh, so okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But not from Ferengi.
Oh.
Yeah, I know you. They would take you and your lunch money.
I have lunch money? I thought I was fed.
Focus.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. Let's see.
Carpenter has...
The first thing is to get him prescription medications.
Yeah. A Carpenter is like tapping her fingers like rhythmically against the table, like other hand holding her face together, very eagerly excited to see if this guy actually knows what he's talking about or is actually just, not all there mentally anymore.
What you want it to do? Do you want it to make boom easier or make looking easier? Or do you want it to build like cities? Colony.
Speed.
I give hard question. Speed. Zoom. We want zoom.
Make ship go.
While he figures that out, Cusia, may I ask you where you came into contact with this man?
Please don't.
System zoom or far zoom? A warp or impulse. Two different zoom.
Misunderstand, Grunk. No zooming from one place to another. Appear from one place to another, as though if you had zoomed, but do not actually zoom. Quantum zoom.
I hear a quantum zoom. It's cheating, but space.
Oh God.
I notice you dodged the question, Kusia. Where did you find this man?
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm developing an investment at the moment. Where I found him, Grunk here is on a work for release program.
What? No, she like actually looks stupefied. You got him out of prison?
Jail.
Hey, there is currently at least one hero of the Federation who spent time in New Zealand. So
I am not judging. Okay, I'm not judging Grunk for any crimes he may or may not have committed.
no, he
But-
did them.
I did them, yes.
Oh my
He's
God.
on. That is step one, right, Grunk? Admit there is a problem.
I sought enlightenment. They did not like this.
Okay,
I-
by
I'm not-
enlightenment, by enlightenment, he means theft. He does not mean intoxicants.
Oh my gosh.
He is a perfectly sober packlet.
I do not care about any crimes Grunk
You
admits
asked.
to have committed. No. Did you acquire him from a jail legally, or did you break him out of a jail?
Why would I break him out of an FIS jail and then bring him to an FIS planet? No, he's out legally.
Okay. How did you acquire a work for release form for him?
I'll transmit the signed form now.
Okay, let me look at this. Does this look legit to me?
You owe me a roll. Reason plus security or command, I suppose. Difficulty of 2. Assisted by computers plus relevant. Because you could ask the computer to help you look up the relevant law and form.
Grunk is my new favorite.
All right. All right.
Grunk is about to meet my favorite hero.
1 threat, 2 momentum.
You picked him.
Rerolling the comp. All right, that's 1 momentum generated back.
Yeah, it has the signature of the relevant of a harmonizer in the in theory system, who wants him to work for the economic benefit, whose condition of rehabilitation is to work toward the economic betterment of the FIS.
Sure. Okay. Okay.
Which is one of the ways you are quote unquote punished in the FIS. Detainment in a cell is their least favorite way because they feel like they're wasting a person. They're wasting information that could be utilized better.
We have invented futuristic indentured servitude.
You get
okay.
paid. You get paid.
If Grunk doesn't make this Miranda go faster, he's about to be wasted.
Okay. So she's gonna read over this paper and she's gonna look at you and she's gonna say, so you were tasked with acquiring engineers for whom would make the best fit to covertly develop a Federation warship and your
Should I plug
preferred-
ears?
No, you're not that smart.
Hey, I mean,
How did you understand that?
I hear things. You said something to make fun of me.
Okay, I apologize. That's
Good.
on me.
Thank you.
Okay, fix the ship.
I did.
Commander
Here.
Carpenter.
This was your first pick.
Hold on.
best
Two
person you
things,
could find.
Commander. 2 things. First thing, you said covertly. How long did it take me to convince you that Grunk is a shipyard engineer? Who else is going to believe it? Second thing, I have Grunk right now. Who do you have?
I have a lieutenant
No,
commander.
no. Not who's on the way. Who do you have?
I done.
Like clenches her teeth and says, "No one."
Yes.
I
I
put
have
on
Grunk.
pad.
Okay,
Grunk,
I look.
have you
The
finished
transmitting
with your
the
mock-up?
yes, transmitting the bed.
Okay, I want to look at this mock-up. Does this look like he's smart or even remotely qualified for this position?
You can take a look at the sheet in there, but you can also give me a roll to reinforce that with reason plus engineering difficulty of 3. Normally it'd be 2, but Grunk has a weird way of noting things, so it makes it a little hard to understand. He does roll to assist because he wrote the document because he'll helpfully
Okay.
explain things
That
if you
being
wanted to
Okay.
help.
said, you might be
Focus.
able to get comms 5 and engineering 4 just by refits.
Okay. Reason engineering. Okay. Focus and organization that I'm going to try to understand his nonsensical organization form.
Yes,
Okay. Doesn't matter, engineering 1 anyways. Okay.
you're welcome.
All right, you know what?
What?
I am going to activate extra energy or extra effort, and I'm going to burn off some of my stress to drop the difficulty by 1 because
that's what that
this
was
is
for.
such a hard thing to understand that I'm rapidly trying to comprehend an incomprehensible thing in a very short time period. All right, so diff 2, 12. I don't have a focus, or I do have a focus, but it doesn't matter. 1 momentum, 2 threat, 3 threat. 1 momentum, 5 threat. That's 1 momentum back. Hopefully he gets another hit, and that way we can quash the comp.
That's a hit.
All right, we're gonna quash the comp. Is this a design of a skilled engineer or of an incompetent engineer?
On that metric, a skilled engineer. If not terrible at explaining his work, but when you check his work against the computer, it's
The literal mathematics and equations and okay.
He can't show his work for nothing, but at the end of the rainbow, it does work once you put it through a quick sim. It's like, oh, that's a 12 engine, 12 communications, Pathfinder Recon Operation Starship.
He looks
It's not bad people skills.
She looks pissed at you, Kosia, and she looks so mad that he is actually skilled and that you didn't actually bring someone useless, because that means she can't immediately dismiss him. And she's going to say, okay, fine. I will admit, he does show the raw talents of a skilled engineer, and it is highly unlikely that anyone would ever believe in any circumstance ever that the Federation would ever enlist a man like him to be involved in the construction of a covert starship. In that regard, you have succeeded in your task.
Yay! I succeeded.
I wasn't talking to you.
Oh. Rude.
However, in the future, I recommend finding people with the bare minimum of people skills before enlisting them into Starfleet operations.
How much do you want to pay for people skills? Because Grunk is not free. A Grunk with people skills would be less free.
This is a post-scarcity environment. We deal with
No.
money because we have to.
You may be post-scarcity. I'm very scarce. Grunk is the most scarce thing imaginable. A skilled starship engineer.
Can I ask a question? It's about ship.
Go ahead, Grunk.
In Blueprint, I made up.
Designs?
Design. He shrugs. Close enough. I designed a cheat, a warp drive that cheats, quantum. But it's imaginary, made up, but with the backup conduits, an improved power system, cheat shouldn't break ship. Ship should withstand extra strain.
Okay.
That's
Depends
what
how
I'm
cheat
wrong.
works, though. If cheat doesn't work, then the way I think it does, then I
So,
may have to
just to
redesign.
get one thing clear, Commander Carpenter. The design sent over is still the intellectual property of Kushi Enterprises. So, like, don't go using that until you are ready to pay for it.
Oh boy.
Because I'm sitting here thinking, damn, if they actually put an FIS thing in that, he just solved everything Haifa wanted to do in 10 minutes, which is kind of sad.
Grunk's very
This
smart.
is an excellent design, Grunk. I am so proud of you. You are receiving a gold star for this.
Ooh, I get gold latinum?
No,
No, the
Well-
gold star is a sticker,
it's a sticker.
but is
It's worthless.
representative of platinum
Oh, really?
abstractly.
Ab Whatley?
Hold on, Grunk. I'm your financial advisor here.
Oh, yes. Much
Uh,
enlightenment.
yes.
Points. Side glances.
We only deal in bars, slips and sticks of gold pressed platinum.
Ugh, why sticks? Oh, sorry.
You
Have you ever paid for coffee with a bar?
Yes?
She mumbles something under your breath to the effect of "fucking capitalists," and sighs and says, "We can discuss exact rates of monetary compensation at a later point. I haven't even decided if Grunk is being admitted onto the engineering team yet. I will have to review what I've been confronted with the Admiral. Grunk presents innumerable concerns for, well, admittedly, a seemingly skilled work."
That means many numbers, Kusia.
I know. Well, Grunk, it looks like we may have to go and in search of the competition. I'm sure there are many people who might want to use your talents.
Ooh, Arillis is hiring.
I don't know if Arillis... Actually... But do you want to work on just a bunch of barrels? Because that's all they build.
Yeah. They make boom a lot. Boom boring.
Yeah.
I've done that already. Much boom.
I would like to remind you, Kusia, that you are currently employed by Rear Admiral Thralick's fleet, and you cannot simply gallivant around offering your skills to anyone you would please to. You are imprised with quite a lot of leeway because of our unique limitations, and you are given access to quite a lot of classified information. But make no mistake, sir, if I find you engaging with enemy states, there will be hell to pay.
Klingons are enemies now? When'd that happen? No one told Grunk.
Arillis has ever been an ally of the Federation.
The Federation does not have alliances. The Federation only ever has interests.
I'm sorry, whose side are you on?
I'm confused.
That's a weird one.
Yeah, that is a weird line from a
Okay.
Federation person.
I'm sorry, that was a Charles de Gaulle quote where he famously declared France does not possess alliances, only interests. She was making a historical allusion, not her statements on foreign policy, which she does not control.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
So I'm not gonna ask Commander Carpenter about her stance
Oh my-
on Vietnam because
No,
Yeah, you're
she's
the one
gonna
who
ask me
opened
to
that
go
can
die
of
in
worms
Vietnam
yourself.
for her.
no,
Oh no!
no. This is not happening again. I swear to God, this is not
You did
happening
it to
again.
yourself
It's,
again.
No, let me explain.
You
My
have
point.
simmered from
no.
fascist down to Gaullist.
I was making a point let me explain. My point was the Federation is only aligned with the Klingons insofar as they are able to be aligned with the Klingons, and that things may change in the future. That was all. I was not okay.
Okay,
It was
that
a
does
little bit.
make sense.
My point was just that she does not trust the Klingons on even a near term future, let alone a medium or long term future, and that's why she would look extremely disfavorably at you going to work for the Klingons at this point. I admit it was a little bit bold, but well, you know.
I'm prepared for season
Yeah,
season 4
I mean, imagine.
Commander Carpenter, who's now boiled down to just generic conservative.
Yeah,
Oh
I mean,
my
yeah,
God.
She'll catch you right next time.
yeah, I mean, rather bold of you. I mean, you had De Gaulle.
Oh, get away with you!
Oh, God
What
damn
the?
it.
All of you have the power to kick him.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah,
know
but he's
Just
how-
saying.
powerless himself.
do you know
I
how
can't,
much
but all
we
of you
have
can.
bullied- Do you know how much we have bullied Ven over the years? He's allowed to make a couple bad puns in
No.
exchange for it.
No.
Okay.
No.
I promise not to search for other opportunities for Grunk if you will pay for him.
I am putting him under strong advisement, mostly due to a lack of alternative candidates. This is the best
Okay.
I can do at this point.
So that was only like what I wanted to get through in the first 5 minutes of this call. Now, what else do we need?
GM, question.
Yeah.
What else do we need at this point? I know we need certain supply chain space resources that I don't know off the top of my head.
Reason.
Can I
This is the
make a
first time
roll
someone's
to
asked.
ask him?
Reason engineering. Difficulty of.
I mean, Gronk's the one who's going to be building the thing. Won't he know?
You can have him roll it. He might be able to rattle off what you. He can roll.
Okay. That was a bad idea. No, you do this.
No, I'm doing this because I don't trust him with this information at this time.
Reason
Oh,
engineering
God, Reason
difficulty
engineering.
5, assisted by computers plus engineering, because Typha would have written stuff like, "Hey, here's the things you need to build a ship like this."
Okay.
You sure you don't want Grunt to assist? He would happily assist.
Okay. Hold on. We're gonna get this done.
Okay.
We're gonna get this
I
done.
don't know. I
Okay.
think we should have Grunk assist here.
Grunk might assist, but I'm going to pull out all possible stops before I consider that. Mostly because now she wants to prove a point to Haifa that Grunk isn't as useful as he probably honestly is at this point. Okay.
No one
I
understands
First
doesn't
thing-
Grunt.
even know who Grunk is.
Okay. First things first, extra effort, dropping that to diff 3, and my stress
You're
down
gonna-
by another
Grunk
2.
is giving you literal ulcers right now.
Yes, no, Grunk is
Really
literally
good.
killing me with his presence. But this is a very fun talent. Okay.
Oh, it's
next
extra-
thing
Giving you
by the way,
4
sorry.
stress damage.
Is extra effort per adventure or per session?
you reduce your maximum stress by 2 for the remainder of the current adventure.
Oh,
Oh,
you're
crap.
down by 3 stress because you still have the extra effort from last session. We're still in the same adventure.
Okay, actually that would be 6 total because it's 2 each.
Oh.
All
It's
right,
2
all right,
each?
it is.
Oh god! I thought that was
Well,
way
I
lower.
thought it was per session. I thought it was per session, and I was being a little bit reckless with it. It's fine. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6
Well,
stress
yeah,
left.
because I don't think any of the talents use the word session. They use the word adventure in the place of the word session.
I
they have-
assume that was per
they have
session.
it-
Okay.
Yeah, they say per scene or per adventure.
Yeah, I define adventure as
Okay.
the several the whole of the mission basically. So
Mm-hmm.
but you're still alive. That's why. Holy crap! That's
Mm-hmm. All right, and I would like to spend my value, or I'd like to spend my determination on the value plans within plans, on the grounds that I am helping formulate a plan to acquire the resources needed to plan for the
Mhm.
construction of the starship.
Yeah.
Awesome.
like it's
Alright,
likely Carpenter
that's-
already knows this off the top of her head because she looked it up earlier.
Reason engineering. Okay.
Good golly.
Okay. All right. In that case, take 4 threat.
4 threat eye.
Okay, I'm one short, so I will begrudgingly ask for Gronk's assist.
Oh, the station could help.
Oh, okay. No, hold on.
You might not need
Hold
Grunk yet.
on.
The ship's not gonna roll 4.
That's 4
if
though,
you
because I spent a determination, so that's 3, 4. Okay. She'll come up with a list of assorted Grunk needs. Or not
One, two,
needs.
three.
Ship
four.
needs.
Isn't the difficulty 5 though?
Grunk needs. No, because I spent extra effort to drop it to div 4.
Oh, my mistake. Sorry.
Yeah,
Extra
Grunk's
effort is powerful.
just-
Fuck me.
really needs a basic replicator and a holodeck, and you could just leave him alone.
All right. How big is the ship going to be, everybody?
I'm pretty sure if we put Grunk in the holodeck, he would never understand that he was in a holodeck and never
scale
leave.
He would think he's a god.
5, I think. Yeah. I think we're building scale 5.
Scale 5?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, I haven't done a pack lid. This is the first time I've done a pack lid.
I thought we were going bigger because we are not playing on the new ship.
Yeah.
I
thought
thought
that
we were going
was
like 6 or
5,
something
rather
because this is not us playing on.
Oh, were we doing 6?
I didn't
well,
think we were
5
making
was
it
what
that
we were
much
going to
bigger.
do if we were going to play on it, so it didn't get crazy. But this is
I
not
think-
us going to be using it.
Like 5 was also a reasonable size for the vessel.
See,
Well,
Yeah,
I was
like
thinking
we-
because this thing is gonna screw off to other parts of the
were
galaxy or whatever. That
about-
it needs to be like galaxy size so it can take the
Except it doesn't, because it can just
people with it.
go.
Okay, I'm remembering now. We said it would be towards the upper end of scale 5. Because that's a good kind of middle ground. Also, when we were talking about potentially having the ship be one that we were on, we were talking about it being 3 or 4.
We were negotiating.
You were the only one who was advocating for scale 5.
Sending the information out, just getting you relevant memory alpha knowledge, so I'm not just throwing random words at you. Ow. I'm okay. Cool. I actually didn't think Grunk was going to get this far in the hiring process. I figured it. I was like, yeah, they're going to say no to a packlet. I'm going to go get him. You're actually getting him? Oh, okay. Okay, here's Grunk. Okay, I'm going to show him to HR.
Look, this is an equal opportunity employer.
I mean, I didn't get multiple options. I asked, and Grunk was the thing I was told I could have.
He fit the parameters the best. So for the price you wanted, anyway.
When life gives you Grunk,
Make Grunkade?
Commander Carpenter might want to drink this man's blood at this point.
It'll give you enlightenment. Sorry.
Uh-huh. I like how in the session we've moved from whatever we were doing with Ven to this. It's a lot of
No,
lot
this
of
is
different tones.
This is very classic Star Trek, heady, esoteric, human questioning A plot, and then a wacky, stupid B plot about the humans after interacting with a dumb alien.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
This is everything. This is perfect.
Thank you.
I'm trying to decipher which one was Grunk and which one was Trailblazer.
Ayo.
Haha, screw you.
If he didn't want to be made fun of, he should have seen the punch coming.
Now if it's a sucker punch, well, Grunk's gonna steal all your stuff now, just out of spite. Rocks fall, you die? No. Grunk falls, you lose everything.
we're going to need a consistent supply of benamite, rhodinium, large amounts of iridium, some nitrium, and probably various other assorted materials. But however, those
Man,
5,
do
I think,
I
pose an initial.
if you need
goal
iridium,
for
do
you.
I know the Imperial Princess for you? She's loaded with the stuff.
Wait, was this a reference to?
When we played Traveler, the main problem we were investigating was on behalf of an Imperial Knight who was investigating the Princess Royal for basically getting involved in illegal iridium mining.
See,
5 minerals, all of whom would be slightly more difficult to ship in bulk quantities this far out. Do you believe you can acquire them for us?
That I will look into it. GM, can I do a quick search to see if I know any mining colonies? I'm willing to source things that might be illegal mining colonies, but I'm not even going to get into like I don't know, Klingon forced labor camps or any kind of weird stuff like that, because she doesn't want to deal with it, and neither does Carpenter. So,
Are you thinking like in the Shackleton region, in the Beta Quadrant, in the Alpha Quadrant as well? How far are you thinking?
oh no, I'm thinking about like some enterprising Upentari who set himself up on a planet and just never asked anybody, so you can get it cheaper from him, kind of stuff.
So local sector concerns.
Yeah.
That would be insight plus.
you don't have to look for illegal stuff. You can look for legal ways of acquiring things too.
I could, but then I would have to pay an honest price for it, and then you would only be willing to pay an honest price, and I can't squeeze margins there. But if I can get it really cheap because the person doesn't have the right permits, then I can squeeze them and you, and there's margins.
You're still being held on retain. You're still getting paid.
Yeah, but you can get a profit this
I was
way.
about to say, this is the thing the Starfleet don't understand. you live according to just what you need to have. I live according to all the things I could have.
I see why you're not in the Federation anymore.
Yeah, because in the
No.
Federation, people would call you, I don't know,
Deranged.
bourgeois decadence or something.
Economically driven.
Economically driven. Yeah, I'll put it on my next resume when my boss asks me, "Oh, why do you want to work here?" I'll say, "Well, I'm very economically driven."
Insight plus command or engineering or science difficulty 4.
All right. Because I'm coming at this from a cost perspective, either economics or logistics.
Either could work, honestly.
All right.
Given what you're asking about.
I care how much it costs, so economics.
Methodical planning here.
Yep.
I'm going to ask. Who can actually help here? I'll ask Alan to come up and help me.
Ryle for Vendi, who wants to roll for the Allen unit?
Go ahead, Ben.
Sure. That's in
Gilded Star.
yeah.
He's
The insight plus engineering in this case. That's just an assist.
Yeah,
or...
it's just an assist.
Yeah.
Does the ship help here?
computers plus relevant department. Yeah.
warp drives or EPS.
One threat.
Well, EPS, yes. One threat eye. Good job, Frolic.
Re-rolling that.
Okay.
I'm re-rolling it.
Super
with maximized
complication for Kusia.
efficiency.
Yeah. Ship,
Alright.
I don't know.
Cleared
fix it
the
later.
comp.
Please
Still
don't
generate.
have an answer for this and make Carpenter stay, because now she has every reason to tell the Admiral she should fire you.
So I give you a reroll if you want it, and I also generate a bonus momentum because
I do.
or you generate a bonus momentum. Rather.
To generate bonus momentum and a momentum, or
No, just bonus momentum.
just bonus? Okay. So, oh wait. Oh, my brain saw that completely wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4. You hit it on the dot. I saw the Starship task as Kusia's role. I was like, wow, you're short. Why didn't you buy anything? I thought you did. Let's see. Well, I'll bring you along with me because it's in this sector somewhere. I just have to figure out where it makes sense you would find this.
You would make a bold guess and say that it's somewhere with a hexagon or a triangle.
Thank you.
Look, I'm here to point out the important things.
Really earning that square on your neck, aren't you?
Yeah.
Wait, no. Oh, God. Here in the Kappa subsector, in this nebula, the large amounts of iridium can be found on the third planet from the sun. There is a industrial society that uses iridium in a lot of its materials, and their planet seems to be rich in this stuff.
I mean, is there? So, I guess the momentum is going to be spent. Would using this be a cheap enough source that Kusia can make a good buck?
Hell yeah, these are pre-warp people.
Pre-warp people dabbling in iridium.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Are we really going to do like first world mining company seizing the material wealth of a third world nation? Is that what we're about to do right now?
Depends if we know about it or not.
No, because Kusia is not going to, come in with phasers and tell them give it to me. Right? I'm going to buy it from them. They get
God.
something in exchange.
Uh-huh.
It's just they don't get what you're willing to pay for it. I get what you're willing to pay for it,
Oh
and they
my
get what I'm willing to pay
God.
for it.
You are so evil. You are,
This
oh
is
my
not-
God.
Hey! I explicitly made sure there was no forced labor involved. That's like this is free trade iridium. You can't get better than that.
Huh?
Yep. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
This is.
I hear a lot of complaining and not a lot of thanks for getting grunk. Right. I'm going to tell Commander Carpenter that I have a solid source of iridium. I'm gonna go set up the trade negotiations. And I'll let you know how it goes. Yeah, I guess, and then I'll close the communication, right? Because I'm thinking I'm gonna have to set up like a shipping company or something. Because Commander Carpenter and Frolic are only gonna be okay with this if the iridium just shows up and they don't know where it comes from, other than Kusha Shipping Limited.
Oh boy.
Yeah, because you
I
can't.
know nothing of what's happening right now.
Yeah, 'cause you can't move that much. Because that's when I say large amounts, I mean large, even on an interstellar trade scale. It is a huge amount you'd need to move. You'd need multiple freighters to move it in a speedy manner. And your Defiant is not made for that.
No.
And what we're about to do is we're about to create the boom bust economic cycle because we're putting all of this demand on the market in the short term for all of these minerals. But once we build enough ships to keep ourselves safe, that's getting turned off. And what's going to happen to all of these boom mining towns? They're not going to have anyone to sell their iridium to, and they're going to close down. And the only one who will have profited off this will be Kusia.
Yeah?
And
Yeah, where was the concern?
Oh my God.
And by the way, Kusia, just to kind of help you with some of this problem, it's same sector. No, I'm worrying for nothing. Never mind. It'll take you about 2 days to get there at your warp, and the meeting doesn't happen until day 7.
What meeting?
The admiral called for a meeting after 7 days of work,
Oh,
which
well,
you'll just
I can
attend
always-
it by subspace. So
Yeah, can always.
that's what I think is going to happen. I doubt you'll get there, get whatever you need, and then back again. Well, you might actually. It's 4 days.
Well, and
That's
I'm not
unheard of.
actually going there to get the iridium. I'm going
I'm just
there
going there
to
to try
just
and
set up
negotiate.
the contracts, and then because I got to come back to Halanak and like find the merchants to ship it.
Yeah.
Hey, Gosia, you know what will really come in handy there is a negotiation focus. Hand it down from the
Like all those books about better negotiating and you, way more useful than you thought they were going to be.
We have become the imperialists we thought we were better than. All this time, we have recreated the systems of oppression our nation was founded to stop. Oh my
Yep.
God.
Straight
So-
from the headlines, everybody. No.
It actually hasn't gone bad yet. Like this may work out for more than just Kusia. Give it a moment.
Okay, sure.
It
buddy.
might.
It might.
Hey, Grunk is
you
doing
know.
pretty good here, and he was the experiment, right? Kusia didn't screw Grunk over. Grunk's out of prison.
Okay, sure. Okay,
He's being paid.
sure. You know what? I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Being in wage labor to an evil capitalist is superior to being in prison. You got me there.
I mean, I would not say it
I
like
feel like it
that.
depends on the prison.
True. We don't really know. I don't think FIS prisons are that bad.
Yeah.
Hey, it's worse than scrubbing the replicators on the Gilded Star.
I've seen the crew members of that ship. I don't want to know what he's scrubbing.
But yeah, I think there, after that sweep around the table, will be a good point to stop.
That was
Yeah.
incredible.
Sorry, it was just so stupid.
So
Oh.
yeah, I mean, on the plus side, a shipwright is found. More things were looked into. Political machinations are being furthered, and Halanak Station is part and parcel to economic oppression. But all that
We're
said,
going to
that's
resolve
not-
it when
This is a lot of exaggeration.
this is not my fault. They chose to do this. I just helped
I
them.
guess we should say
Um,
theoretical, possible economic oppression.
Schrodinger's oppression.
Next,
Yeah.
you're gonna tell me that Harry Mudd was not the good guy.
He wasn't.
You've been watching Star Trek wrong.
My
I hate to
favorite
tell
Star
it
Trek
like
characters
this.
are Quark and Harry Mudd.
I mean, yeah, I would take Quark over Harry Mudd any day. Mudd's a jerk. But anyway, all that said, and
Yeah.
I hope you all have a good one. And all of you watching, thank you very much for watching. All of you playing, thank you very much for playing. And we will see you next time.
Oh.
You make
Let's hope
one historical illusion, and now everyone thinks you're a Gaullist. I can't believe this. You were literally about to buy an iridium mine from a bunch of natives, like the Dutch showing up to buy Manhattan for a couple beads, and you get to say that you're the good guy and I'm the bad guy.
I don't think he
I
does
mean-
get to say he's the good guy.
You make
Yeah,
some
compared
incredibly
to-
just leap of faith
You know,
comparisons and be like, I am absolutely going to assume the worst and then argue for it to be the worst.